Hi, audible, visible?
Yes, Dr. Singh. Audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, Dr. Vinita, you are audible.
Okay.
A very good morning to all the panelists. We will just be starting the session in the next 2 minutes.
उसको पता है
I hope we all are there in this panel. I would request the dear panelists if we can have their videos switched on so that. All right. So a very good morning to all the panelists and to participants who have joined for this session. I welcome you all to the day 2 of session 1 of One District, One Product, taking design ecosystem to the last mile. I would like to introduce all to Professor Pradyumna Vyas, Senior Advisor, Confederation of Indian Industry, Board Member, World Design Organization, and a former Director of National Institute of Design. I welcome you, Professor Vyas. I would now like to take this opportunity to introduce today's panelist of this session, Dr. Amitabh Singh. Dr. Amitabh Singh is a partner and head of design at Boston Consulting Group in India. He is actively involved in creating breakthrough digital ventures for large corporations. Dr. Singh has more than 20 years of experience in building and leading design and innovation teams across industries. He has developed more than 40 disruptive product innovations, has 20 plus international patents, and 15 plus international publications to his credit. I welcome you, Dr. Amitabh Singh. Our next panelist is Mr. Sherpa Shukla. Ms. Shukla is currently the chairman in Uttar Pradesh Institute of Design and Research since 2017. It's the only design institution run by Uttar Pradesh government under the aegis of MSME department. Worked closely while the ODOP scheme was being formulated and played an important role in implementing the scheme at the grassroots level. Being the major training partner of ODOP, worked extensively in improvising design, creating a direct market linkage for artisanal community to give them a global entity. I welcome you, Ms. Shukla. Our next panelist is Dr. Preetdeep Singh. Dr. Preetdeep Singh leads the One District, One Product team at Invest India under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. The program aims to put at least one product from each district of the country on the world map. Dr. Preet likes to tinker with any data and is ranked in the top 10% of all researchers on SSRN, Social Science Research Network. I welcome you, Dr. Preet Singh. Our next speaker, Dr. Vanita Ahuja, who is the Director of National Institute of Design, Haryana. Dr. Ahuja looks forward to establishing a design learning environment that is global, creative, as well as enables students to understand the requirements of society and industry. She has done her education in architecture from IIT Roorkee, MTech in construction project management from IIT Delhi, and a PhD from Queensland University of Technology, Australia. I welcome you, Dr. Vanita. With this, I would now like to hand it over to Dr. Amitabh Singh to take the session forward. Over to you, Dr. Amitabh.
Thank you, Nitesh. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to moderate this session on One District, One Product, also known as ODOP. This topic is very close to my heart and is extremely important for our nation building. The One District, One Product, or ODOP as it's widely called, scheme was introduced by the Government of India to help districts reach their full potential, foster economic and socio-cultural growth, and create employment opportunities, especially in the rural areas. The idea was to identify, focus, and support one product for each region and boost local economy and raise the standard of living. Soft toys, handicrafts are one of very few examples that have been already listed and proven successful under the scheme. It is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister that each district should be developed as an export hub. This initiative, I'm sure, will promote holistic socio-economic growth across all regions, attract a lot of investments, boost manufacturing and exports, generate employment, and most importantly, provide an ecosystem for innovation across our country. From One District, One Product perspective, design plays a very strong role in boosting the entire value chain and pushing traditional industries and local products for Atmanirbhar Bharat. I feel this is a great opportunity for our designers, entrepreneurs, academicians, industry to fulfill their dream of designing in India for the world. The session will discuss upon the role and integration of design in the success of One District, One Product scheme. I will now request our eminent panelist, Ms. Sushri Kripa Shukla, Chairman of Uttar Pradesh Institute of Design and Research, to share her perspectives on this topic.
Thank you so much, Amitabh. And I really thank Mr. Pratibhan Vyas to invite me here on this platform to discuss something about ODOP. I think, Amitabh, what I would like to rectify your statement here that it was launched by Government of India. I'm really very sorry to interrupt here. And I would like to correct you here. It was launched by Uttar Pradesh government under the leadership of Yogi Adityanath ji on UP Divas on 25th and 26th of January in the year 2018. It was inaugurated, it was UP Divas, and then Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, he was the then vice president, he came for the inauguration. And then it was formally inaugurated by Mr. Kovind, who was the then president, on 10th of August 2018. So it was the scheme launched by our Honorable Chief Minister, and this One District, One Product scheme, it was a game changer for everybody in Uttar Pradesh. And looking at the results, the consequences, all the pros and cons, it was highly appreciated by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, because this scheme was strengthening his dream. This scheme was strengthening Atmanirbhar Bharat. This scheme was strengthening the dream of PM when he said Make in India. So this scheme not only strengthened the country, the entrepreneurs, small industries, MSME, which micro, and medium-sized industries, but it has been strengthening the far east villages. You will not believe Siddharthnagar is the most inspiring districts of India, and it has benefited even there. And Yogi ji did, I mean, the whole of the team had been working very hard on this. So it was a very well thought, conceptualized scheme. It was a full capsule scheme, and it provides not only the design trainings and skill development trainings, as PM says, skill, reskill, and upskill. So this scheme of Yogi Adityanath ji has been strengthening all the dreams, all the expectations of our Honorable Prime Minister. So we had been there with this scheme since the very starting, और जब ये scheme शुरू हो रही थी तो उसके formulation में हमें क्या-क्या करना चाहिए, what all was required, we had been actively involved at that time, because that was the implementation time. This is the reason that it took almost 7 to 8 months to come on the platform, जिससे कि उसका सबसे ज़्यादा लोगों को फायदा मिलता. So this scheme had been giving trainings, from providing toolkits, from giving design intervention, in which UPID played a very important role. As you said, that design is very, very important when it comes to the product development. So yes, then we chose, सबसे बड़ी कवायद तो यही थी कि कैसे हर जिले में सारे उत्पादों को हम choose कर सकते हैं. So from Firozabad, we took glass. From Saharanpur, it was wood. From Siddharthnagar, it was Kala Namak Chawal. जिस काला नमक चावल को आज की तारीख में, पहले बात करते 4 साल 5 साल पहले तो कोई नहीं जानता था, but now it is being exported also. Then चंदौली का ब्लैक राइस जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट में उगाया जाता था, चंदौली का ब्लैक राइस अब हमारा 1 डिस्ट्रिक्ट 1 प्रोडक्ट. औरैया का घी है, अलीगढ़ के ताले हैं. सो जो लोग केवल चिकनकारी और सहारनपुर के वुड को और फिरोजाबाद की चूड़ियों को जानते थे, वो छोटे छोटे गांव में भी जो छोटे छोटे प्रोडक्ट बन रहे थे, उन प्रोडक्ट्स को भी बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस मिली और उन प्रोडक्ट्स को भी एक ग्लोबल पहचान मिली, जिसका ऑफ कोर्स योगदान पीएम साहब को तो जरूर जाता है, बिकॉज द वे ही हैज स्टार्टेड गिफ्टिंग द स्मॉल इंडिजिनस प्रोडक्ट्स टू द डिफरेंट हेड ऑफ द कंट्रीज. अभी आपने देखा होगा G20 में पीएम साहब ने एक सोहित प्रजापति है आजमगढ़ का, उसका ब्लैक पॉटरी का सामान उन्होंने बाहर के विदेश में दिया. इसी तरीके से दिलशाद हुसैन का एक इतना छोटा सा एक पॉट था, बहुत ही सुंदर पॉट था, वो उन्होंने दिया. तो जिस तरीके से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक छोटे से गांव के प्रोडक्ट को किस तरीके से हम विदेशों में भी उसको एक पहचान दिलाई है, इसमें ओडीओपी एक बहुत बड़ा गेम चेंजर साबित हुआ है. और डिजाइन के क्षेत्र में हम लोगों ने बहुत काम किया है. वी हैव वर्कड एक्सटेंसिवली. एंड पहले तो आर्टिजन को समझाना मुश्किल होता था, बिकॉज आर्टिजन हैज एन आर्टिस्ट माइंडसेट. ही इज अ बिगर आर्टिस्ट देन अ डिजाइनर. डिजाइनर अपनी मार्केट के हिसाब से डिजाइन को चेंज करता है, बट आर्टिजन कहता है नो, आई एम हमारा हुनरी सब कुछ है और वी विल नॉट मैनिपुलेट विद द डिजाइंस. But we tried to convince them. We made a 1-to-1 rapport. We tried to tell them कि look, you're a very good artisan, you're too good. लेकिन आज के जमाने के हिसाब से अगर आप अपने सामान को नहीं बनाओगे तो आपकी यही कला लुप्त हो जाएगी. So very, with the gradual thing, they understood कि समय के हिसाब से हमको बैकवर्ड डिजाइनिंग करनी है, कि हमको मार्केट के हिसाब से सामान को बनाना है. यहाँ तक कि एक्सपोर्टर्स जो थे वो भी थोड़े रिलक्टेंट थे कि हम लोग आर्टिजन को इतना बढ़ा रहे हैं तो कल को वो उनको नहीं पूछेंगे. सो हमने एक प्रोग्राम किया था, डिजाइन कॉन्क्लेव एंड आर्टिजन वीवर समिट इन वाराणसी, विद द गैदरिंग ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट 3000 आर्टिजन वीवर्स. वी ट्राइड टू मेक देम एक्सप्लेन कि लुक, यू आर अ कारपेट एक्सपोर्टर, पर ये कारपेट बनाने वाला नहीं बचेगा तो आपकी इंडस्ट्री खत्म हो जाएगी. So even we had to make we acted as a bridge between the exporters and the artisans and the weavers, and we acted as a conduit. फिर एक हम लोगों ने 16 फरवरी को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी आए थे एड्रेस करने के लिए आर्टिजन वीवर को, अंडरस्टैंडिंग द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ द आर्टिजन्स एंड द वीवर्स, दैट हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट आर दे. तो 1 डिस्ट्रिक्ट 1 प्रोडक्ट हम सबका ड्रीम तो है ही, और आज आप देखोगे कि छोटे छोटे जिलों में भी हम सबको लोन दे रहे हैं, सबको एक हैंड होल्डिंग दे रहा है, जैसे इन्वेस्ट इंडिया चला रहे हैं. अब तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया में पीएम साहब ने भी कह दिया कि भाई पूरे हिंदुस्तान में 1 डिस्ट्रिक्ट 1 प्रोडक्ट स्कीम को अडॉप्ट कर लेना चाहिए. तो बहुत जरूरी था आज के जमाने में. कोविड का टाइम आप सबने देखा, और हम सबको लगता था कि कोविड के टाइम पे इंडस्ट्रीज करीब करीब शट डाउन थी, लेकिन आप बिलीव नहीं करेंगे, हम खुर्जा में बात करते हैं सेरेमिक्स की, या हम दूसरे आर्टिजन से बात करते हैं जो कोविड के टाइम पे छोटे छोटे गांव में भी उनका काम बंद नहीं हुआ था, क्योंकि हमारी आउटरीच उतनी ही थी। जैसे मॉल्स बंद हो गए, लेकिन मोहल्लों में छोटे छोटे कॉलोनीज में परचून की दुकानें चलती रहीं। उसी तरीके से कोविड ने लोकल सामान को बंद नहीं किया, बल्कि उनके काम को और स्ट्रेंथन किया। So it acted as a very, I mean, it was a beautiful thing. और आज आप देखेंगे कि छोटे से छोटे गांव का आदमी भी प्राइम मिनिस्टर से मिल रहा है। आप बिलीव नहीं करेंगे, अभी गुजरात में, शायद प्रद्युमन जी तो बिल्कुल जानते होंगे, गुजरात में बहुत लंबे समय तक रहे हैं, वहां पे गफूर भाई खत्री हैं, रोगन आर्ट होती है निरोड़ा गांव में, गुजरात के कच्छ के, और बहुत वो बिल्कुल बॉर्डर से लगा हुआ एरिया है, रण ऑफ कच्छ से। तो जब हम उनके पास गए तो उन्होंने बोला कि पीएम साहब हमारे, और उसने बहुत सारी फोटोग्राफ्स लगा रखी थी, तो जहां पे केवल 50-60 आर्टिस्ट थे रोगन आर्ट के, उसका भी सामान आज नहीं, जब पीएम साहब चीफ मिनिस्टर थे गुजरात के, उसका सामान उन्होंने उसको प्रमोट किया। और अभी भी हाल में ही उन्होंने रोगन आर्ट का गफूर भाई खत्री का बनाया हुआ, अब जब ओबामा प्रेसिडेंट थे यूएस के, उनको गिफ्ट किया। So this is the way what BJP government, I'm sorry that I'm talking about BJP because we belong to Bharatiya Janata Party, and we have understood the nerve of the public. We have understood the nerve of the local, जो deep root गांव में भी रहता है, हमने उसकी नब्ज को समझा है, और हमने महसूस किया कि पलायन जरूरी नहीं है, सैटेलाइट सिटीज को बनाना इंपॉर्टेंट है, पलायन होगा तो लोकल आर्ट खत्म हो जाएगी। एंड दैट्स व्हाट इट हैज स्टार्टेड हैपनिंग, कि लोग ई रिक्शा चलाने लगे, लोगों को लगा कंप्यूटर टाइमिंग करेंगे तो 15,000 रुपए मुझे मिल जाएंगे, तो कम से कम मैं उतना कमा लूं कि अपनी फैमिली को चला पाऊं। लेकिन अब आप गांव में सिचुएशन देखेंगे ना, सबसे बड़ा अचीवमेंट हमारा ये है कि द यंगर जनरेशन हैज कम बैक टू एक्सेप्ट व्हाट देयर पेरेंट्स हैड बीन डूइंग। Younger generation is taking a leap forward to their old crafts. They are doing the designing courses. इवन NID ने भी बहुत सारे आर्टिजन्स को भी मेरे ख्याल से डिजाइन की कोर्सेज कराए हैं, जैसे हम लोग करा रहे हैं, कि आर्टिजन का बच्चा ही डिजाइनर बन जाए और वही अपने प्रोडक्ट को एक नई दिशा दे। क्योंकि हर बार सरकार एक हैंड होल्डिंग देती है, बट देन लोगों को खुद को समझना होगा कि हमें खुद अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होना है। So we have strengthened the grassroots, which was very, very important. और प्रद्युमन जी से तो हमारा बहुत पुराना कांटेक्ट है, जब हम अहमदाबाद गए भी थे, and I tried to understand what NID had been doing. And UPID has come up as a very good design institution in UP, understanding all the crafts we have. You will not believe, UP is a hub of the crafts, and that's why UPIDR was created. Now we have started growing with sessions. And I'm sure that ODOP has touched everybody's mind. As you said, ODOP is a soul. So now ODOP has become the soul of the country because it is connecting everybody from top to bottom. So, I mean, I think everybody would agree to what I'm saying. Miss Ahuja is smiling over it. I think she will surely have something to say. But Yogi ji has really worked very hard. Our MSME team has worked very hard. और यहाँ तक कि हम लोगों ने बायर सेलर मीट्स भी ऑर्गेनाइज कराई। और वन थिंग मोर, रिसेंटली व्हाट यू वुड हैव नेवर हर्ड कि कोई इंडियन फॉरेन सर्विसेज के लोग केवल विदेशों में हमारे एम्बेसडर्स होते थे, हमारे हाई कमिश्नर्स होते थे। दे हैड नथिंग टू डू विद द लोकल विलेजर्स, दे हैड नथिंग टू डू विद द लोकल इंडस्ट्री। You will not believe, Honorable PM, he has initiated, he has convinced कि भाई MEA में जितने भी अधिकारी हैं वो लोग अलग अलग जगहों पर जाएं। तो यूपी में अभी हाल में ही मुश्किल से एक हफ्ता पहले एम्बेसडर्स और हाई कमिश्नर्स का एक डेलीगेशन गया था। दे हैव बीन टोल्ड कि आप लोग जिन जिन कंट्रीज में रहते हैं वहां पे जो ट्रेड ऑफिसर्स होते हैं वहां से आप इन लोगों के लिए बिजनेस लेकर आइए। तो अभी एक डेलीगेशन यूपी में योगी जी से मिला है, और सिद्धार्थनगर, बहराइच, बलिया, जो कुशीनगर, यहाँ तक IFS high commissioners गए हैं to explore the business opportunities, that how can they pick up the products, the local products, and they can take it to their respective countries. So you see कि now even IFS officers, even they have started working under the guidance of Honorable Prime Minister to give a global outreach to a local product. So it is not only vocal for local, it is getting, now we are being vocal for global also, and that's what we are doing.
Thank you, ma'am, for talking straight from the heart. Firstly, thanks for correcting me. The launch of the scheme by Honorable CM of Uttar Pradesh, I think, and endorsed and appreciated by the Government of India. That's thanks for sharing that. And totally agree. I think the points you raised about how our Prime Minister has been promoting in such small gestures of bringing black pottery from boosting the confidence of an artist on a global scale. I think that's really amazing. Also, I think very interesting points and nuances you raised, and it's great that your team and you have already kind of seen this and trying to resolve this conflict or the different way of thinking of an artist and a designer. I think that was really interesting, that how artists want to protect their honor, as you called, and they are a little more protective about what they do. And with the changing trends and times, how they can adopt and be more relevant in today's society. It's some amazing work that your team has been doing, and really nice to get your insights there. I'll request Dr. Preetdeep Singh, who's leading this ODOP program in Invest India. He's also Chief Analytics and Vice President. Dr. Preet, over to you. Please share your perspectives and build over the discussion.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think I would agree with almost everything that ma'am has said, and it was really nice how she brought about the challenge of the artisan's pride. That when you tell an artisan, for example, terracotta in Rajsamund in Rajasthan, they make small figurines, right? And if you look at the European market or the Russian market 2 years back, nobody was really buying those. And when we went to them and said that we've got these NID trainers, and we would want you to make terracotta planters because they're sustainable, they're better, there's a market for them. There was such a strong resistance to the entire bit. Similarly, when we went to improve designs for bamboo, this is in Tripura. It was a 2-day workshop. Everybody was so happy. The feedback was so positive. And the next day they said, of course, we'll not make it. And we're like, why? But you learned the entire bit. They're like, because we know that we are able to sell A. Why do we want to risk it by making B? Like, the master artisan was like, I have to pay these artisans. So agar mera 3 din mein saman nahi bikega, so my working capital cycle is going to be disrupted, right? And in that sense, of course, UP has a bit of financial grant, financial assistance. They've got loans and all to cover that bit. But this concept of artisan pride, I think it is not as well understood, at least by hardcore commercies like me. And a similar problem that we faced was there was, I think Azamgarh black pottery, or maybe another pottery, maybe Jaipur blue pottery, where we got these people onto e-commerce. Ek Dhoni ki ad aati thi ki Vadodara sports goods. So this person is like, nahi, India sports goods hai hamare dukaan ka naam. He's like, but you're only selling it in Vadodara. So unless sell it to the entire country, it's not India sports goods. So we got a lot of people onto e-commerce, and this stopped after a month. One, they couldn't click decent photos for a good e-commerce platform to accept. Second, they didn't package it very well. Third, and this was again most interesting for me, when an artisan got a product return, they felt insulted. It wasn't a business decision. It wasn't that, oh, okay, I sell 100 goods, I got back 3, so let me just increase the cost of my 97 so that I cover the cost of 100 and the logic. For them, it was a matter of being sad that somebody has rejected art. Somebody is questioning my ability, right? So I think the artisan mind is one very major thing. Second, as ma'am already hinted at it, the entire G20 bit, and this is where I and Professor Vyas were together when we were working with G20 Sherpa on this. They decided that all G20 gifting will be ODOP, right? One or the other district of the country, we're trying to customize it. It's still happening, and today, being the first day, is very relevant to this. One of the major concerns that the G20 Sherpa had was when you gift a product to somebody in a photo op, how the PM gifts things is, this is that product, and you talk about that product, and you've got a moment to savor it, right? Versus when you have to give it in bulk. You have, I think, 60,000 delegates in G20, 30,000 in B20, 20,000 in S20, and the paraphernalia that comes with it. A lot of them are going to be just packaged boxes, tied in a nice ribbon, and then you take it home, right? We are actually missing out on that market because our products are not packaged, one, as beautifully, second, in a utility fashion. So for example, we've had a demand for a very long time. Can we have a way to put books in a box, in a packet, in a bag, that one allows for the user to see the books, second allows them to carry the books around, is sustainable, and four, if there is any other utilitarian innovation that we can do there, right? And we've honestly been struggling a bit on that part. Thankfully, this is where Professor Vyas came to our rescue, and we had access to a few designers who've been helping us for G20. But a major challenge that has come there is the designers can help you till the point of a blueprint or a prototype, right? So for example, if I have to, let's say package, Azamgarh black pottery is of course more utilitarian, but I'm thinking something else. Let's say I just have to package tea, right? If I have to package simple tea, the designer will give me maybe a blueprint and a prototype. The entire manufacturing process is then going to be additional, right? The costing does not fit with the risk appetite of the producers, of the artisans, the weavers, the sellers as much. And also the logistics around sending goods to be packaged and then coming back. I think we are yet to figure out that part. A common facilitation center can give you a plastic tight wrap. It could probably give you maybe, some aesthetics, some FSSAI regulatory stuff, but it will not give you good looking packaging. We are working with NID on that, but we are yet to crack the nut on that one. One example that I give a lot of people is that, we buy a phone comes for what, 10K to 30K, 50K. And, you open that box once and you never ever use that box. A lot of us store that box thinking ki ye second charger, ya ye extra wire, ya ye notebook hum kabhi padenge, and it never gets used, right? Compare that to a 50K to 1 lakh to 3 lakh to 10 lakh pashmina that mostly comes wrapped in a newspaper or a polythene. And, we're all in India. How often do we actually use a pashmina? I know that my winter clothes are used for maybe 2-3 months in a year. The rest 9 months, my mom's pashminas are kept in her cupboard somewhere, right? So where we are not using the packaging, companies curate an unboxing experience. They get stars. Marcus Brownie would do an unboxing for an iPhone. And where you are going to use that box so much, you are not even thinking of, can it be sustainable? Can it actually have an identity? Can we show the name of the artisan, right? So I think we've got a chasm to jump that entire bit. The people on this panel, really great. I had to appreciate ma'am for one thing. They have these nice, I hope it is Shazam, or I'm forgetting the name, maybe the cufflings that you've made. I think Moon's cufflings, ma'am, or something like that. I think we took it to Davos also last year. I think these are great innovation ideas where you can use traditional products in a more contemporary utility. I think that's something great that we've seen from UP coming forward. Even the ITR packaging that you all have, I think that's really great.
I would like to mention one product. There was one product, Gracia. They come from Kannauj, as you know. Ki ITR is one of the ODOP products. But we guided that boy, and मैं कभी प्रद्युमन जी आपको भेजूंगी और शेयर करूंगी उसका कैटलॉग. तो आप बिलीव नहीं करेंगे, हमने उनसे कि आपका इत्र आज की तारीख में मार्केट में जल्दी मुझे कोई कह दे इत्र खरीद लो 10,000 रुपए का, then I will not buy. So we have to keep ourselves in somebody else's shoes and think, if I'm making this product, will I buy it? Is it cost effective or it is worth the costing? We just told him कि आप इसको bed and bath में convert करो. आप believe नहीं करोगे, उसका product can beat even Forest Essentials. The packaging which you are talking about, he has done an amazing packaging. Packaging पे हमारा focus भी है, और आज की तारीख में आप किसी भी international brand से उसके product को beat कर सकते हैं. और कन्नौज में और कानपुर के बीच में उसका यूनिट है. उसने बहुत बढ़िया इन हाउस पैकेजिंग यूनिट बनाई है. एंड यू विल नॉट बिलीव अब वो कितना आइटम बनाता है पर डिजाइन पर प्रोडक्ट. 1.5 से 2 लाख पीस पर प्रोडक्ट ही इज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. सो दैट्स काइंड ऑफ पैकेजिंग ही इज डूइंग. और जैसे कि आप रिटर्न्स की बात करते हैं, अमेजोन के साथ में एक और भी दिक्कत आई थी. हम लोगों ने MOU किया था फ्लिपकार्ट और अमेजोन के साथ में. इनको पता होगा कि उनके प्रोडक्ट्स को हम कैसे अमेजोन पे ला सकते हैं. तो एक और प्रॉब्लम आ रही थी जीएसटी की, कि आर्टिजन जीएसटी का दिक्कत आता था, और जब तक आप जीएसटी नहीं पे करोगे तो अमेजोन आपको एनरोल नहीं करेगा। तो अभी यूपी गवर्नमेंट ने, एमएसएमई डिपार्टमेंट ने क्या किया कि एक और हमारा हैंडलूम डिपार्टमेंट है, उसको उन्होंने एक हैंड होल्डिंग दे दी कि हम जीएसटी पे कर देंगे, और जिस आर्टिजन के पास जीएसटी नंबर नहीं भी है तो उसका प्रोडक्ट हम ले लेंगे और हम उसी हिसाब से उसको अमेजोन पे डालेंगे। तो जो 10,000 रुपए अमेजोन लेता था फोटोग्राफी के लिए, बहुत सारी चीजों के लिए, तो वो सारी फोटोग्राफी उनकी फ्री हो गई, फोटोशूट वाज फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट। सो ओडीओपी इज ऑल्सो टेकिंग केयर ऑफ इट, कि आज की तारीख में हम उनको, जब भी हम ओडीओपी की ट्रेनिंग करते हैं तो हमारा एक दिन होता है हाउ टू यूज अ सोशल मीडिया फॉर मार्केटिंग देयर प्रोडक्ट। आप इंस्टा अकाउंट कैसे बनाएं, आप इंस्टा पे फोटोग्राफ को कैसे खींचें। सो फोटोग्राफी इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। हम ही किसी एंगल मैटर्स, आपने फोटोग्राफ कैसे खींची, हम उसी एंगल से सुंदर भी लगने लगेंगे, उसी एंगल से वील स्टार्ट लुकिंग ऑड। सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द आर्ट ऑफ फोटोग्राफी ऑल्सो, कि पहले तो हम उसको फोटो देखेंगे, तो फोटो देखने में भी प्रोडक्ट को सुंदर लगना चाहिए, केवल डिजाइन ही सुंदर ना हो। तो इन चीजों पे भी हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान दे रहे हैं। और पैकेजिंग के साथ में जो गाजियाबाद में एक इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ पैकेजिंग, उसके साथ भी यूपी गवर्नमेंट ने एक एमओयू किया है, टाई अप किया है पैकेजिंग को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए। क्योंकि मुझे ध्यान है कि गोरखपुर में टेराकोटा के एक आर्टिजन है राजन प्रजापति, वो गुलेरिया गांव का है, वो एक हब है प्रजापति समाज का जो पॉटरी का काम करता है। तो बोला, मैडम मैंने एक बारी बॉम्बे एक ट्रक सामान भेजा और मेरा मुश्किल से 20% सामान वहां पे बचा, 70% सामान की मेरी ब्रेकेज हो गई। So he's right that packaging is a very, very important issue, but still we have to work upon it quite a lot.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Preet. I think amazing points, and thanks for building over ma'am's point on the artisan's pride. I think really a deep insight there. How do we retain their pride while kind of driving business impact? Also, you mentioned about very interesting aspects of e-commerce photography and product return, for which ma'am has also shared some insights on how they are trying to resolve it. I think your idea on packaging is really nice and deep. It makes a lot of sense, especially your examples on unboxing experience, and that's how the technology world is moving. It's not only about the product, but the unboxing experience itself, and how it can be sustainable, utility oriented, add a premium value, maybe have an artisan's kind of a brand name. I think a lot of opportunities on packaging design and transformation there. These are great areas to work on. So with that, I'll hand it over to Dr. Vanita Ahuja, Director, NID Haryana, to share her perspectives on the topic, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Amitabh, and thank you to CII for organizing this event and inviting me here to talk on this topic. Really a very important topic, as told by other two speakers also, taking the employment to the grassroots level, taking socio-economic growth to the grassroots level. I have a small presentation and I'll just share that. I hope everybody can see it.
Yes, your presentation is visible.
Yeah, so just briefly taking everyone through taking the audience through ODOP. Now we all know that what is ODOP. I would not be getting into the details of it, but looking at the objective, as has been spoken by the other two speakers also, that the objective was to bring socio-economic growth at the grassroots level. But there the starting point is the core competency of each district. So it is very important that we first see that what is the core competency. That is the starting point, and that is where we have to develop the growth of the district in the areas of taking research, design, innovation, and technology at that level, and taking these products to the market, global market, not only the national market. So our starting point is the core competency that is identified, and the outcome is the competitive advantage that we can give to the people there in these districts. So at that granular level in the society, government has looked into taking the development. So that is most important, as it has been reflected by other speakers also. So vision is to make these districts global hubs of research, management, logistics. So when we talk about a district level, it is a granular level, but it is a sustainable level where the design, the manufacturing, and the supply chain, the whole logistics can be managed. Because if a particular cluster or a group has to look outside much for the whole process, then there can be a breakage somewhere in the whole supply chain. So why district level? Because this is a very sustainable unit in the society where we can give a complete solution to the teams that are working there on different products. So my perspective is how the design has gone into the level of the district when ODOP scheme has been launched, and what are the outcomes. From the designer's perspective and the sustainability perspective, what I see is that with this scheme, these products, their manufacturing has become more sustainable, because we are looking at products that are made locally. So we are also looking at the raw material, which is largely sourced locally. Only then it would have been, an indigenous product of that area. That majority of the raw material comes from there, majority of the expertise come from the local area. And what happens is that if in an area, few people are working on creating certain products, the waste that gets generated would be just maybe, thrown away and not really disposed of scientifically. But when we are talking of ODOP scheme and government looks at increasing the numbers being manufactured, so we are also getting a threshold level of waste that is getting generated. And that is where a secondary product comes out, if possible. So like if we look at the industry of handicraft in Panipat, so there is a lot of textile waste, and there is a secondary industry of products being generated from that waste. Similarly, wherever there is a glass industry, there is some byproduct coming out of the waste of the glass from there. Wherever there is leather industry, we will have products from the waste. So ODOP scheme would help in generating threshold level of waste at one place and secondary products coming out of it. And even if what final waste comes out, it will be scientifically disposed of, because that much amount of waste is getting generated that you can have formal solutions for it by the government also. And when we are talking about the secondary products, actually we are developing another group of people in the society who would be getting employment from that. So if we are looking at socio-economic growth, we focus on one product in the district and we develop other manpower, other skill, and more economy in the state there. And of course, when you are talking about the level, the numbers, then comes more design and technology. Like, for example, if we have to take laser cutting machine at a district, if more number of people are wanting that facility, then our common facility center could have that for them. And then more shapes are going to come out, because now you are providing them laser cutting machines, you are providing them 3D printers, which would not be possible if few of the artisans are working on their products. So their skill we have to hone up further with the technology that is available in today's time. And this is also going to facilitate GI tagging of products. Presently, country has, I think, only about 300 GI tagged products. So we have to increase those numbers. So this is how, when we look at formally looking at the products in the country, indigenous to different districts, we would be increasing the GI tagging of the products. And there has to be a convergence of different schemes that are there. And it is actually today going to facilitate the ODOP scheme. So like UP government started with ODOP scheme, which was taken up at the country level. And certain states like Haryana are talking about one block, one product scheme. That within a district also there are blocks, and each block may also have a certain, different product, which is their core competence. Then we also look at those products, though maybe block is not a sustainable level to give whole supply chain logistics, but then they are within a district where this logistics could be provided. And Indian Railways has come up with one station, one product scheme. And there are kiosks being made on the railway stations. UP government has already implemented that, where these kiosks are selling the ODOP product of that particular district. And Haryana government has also come up with these kiosks on the railway stations. So if we look at one district, one product, one block, one product, and one station, one product, these are the converging schemes which are going to help in designing, manufacturing, and taking our products to the larger market. And also the initiative of Government of India of Open Network for Digital Commerce. So very rightly mentioned in the previous discussions that we have to take these products, we take them to Amazon, we take them to other e-retailers. So government is facilitating now this through Open Network for Digital Commerce, which will be a platform for the artisans to sell their products. And of course, they are also coming up on GEM now, the government e-marketplace, from where all government departments have to do their procurements. So, and these artisans are being facilitated to get listed on GEM. This is just a brief snapshot of how Haryana government has worked upon identifying the blocks within each district and identifying the products under the OBOP scheme, one block, one product scheme under the Padma initiative of MSME. And I'll just take few references from the presentation of UP government, which is there regarding the ODOP scheme, where there are 5 tasks listed in the sequence to be taken up. And of course, first is the product selection, and then the diagnostic study that is done for the cluster. And diagnostic study report becomes the starting point for making the DPR, making the action plan, planning for the implementation. And the 10 key action points that have been identified by the UP government, in that we see there are 4 or 5 where design comes as an aspect to be looked into. Like if we look at improving quality, improving design, improving packaging that we have discussed here in the session today, and also branding and marketing. All these are the key points where design has a very lead role, and we have to take designers at the district level to facilitate artisans to look into these aspects of design. So when we had studied the diagnostic study reports prepared by UP government for the districts, for some of these districts, NID Haryana has given the proposal to UP government where we could do the intervention as designers. So I'm very briefly showing you some of these which we have given the proposals for. Like this was for the Bulandshahr district, where the identified product is ceramic products. So when we studied the diagnostic study report for Bulandshahr district, we identified from there what are the problems that are identified. So Khurja district, Khurja area has been taken up here for study, where the hand painting legacy, which was there, it has suffered, quality of products has suffered, and the whole cluster has not been able to upgrade to the requirements of the contemporary market. So looking at the diagnostic study report, we identified what kind of soft interventions we could do interacting with the artisans to give them more inputs on design for their products, new forms and shapes, looking at the new functions and applications, new use of ceramic material and design interventions at the process stage itself. Similarly, it's just a brief glance of the proposal we have given for the Hapur district, where the home furnishings is the identified product. And also we identified what interventions could be done by us. And on the right-hand side, what you see is the study from our students on the Pilakwa area, where they studied and saw that what are the motives which are there in the library bank of some of the artisans there. So this is how, if the design institutions are working on these schemes, we could help the artisans in developing more designs and creating their library bank for the patterns which could be used. And also skill development could be done for the artisans. So this is just a brief glimpse I am giving you how NID Haryana has given the proposals to UP government, and in each state it could be done that the design institutes are leveraged to be giving these inputs. And I'm sure UP government has been interacting with other design institutes in the state. So how do we look at the role of knowledge in taking ODOP initiative along with other initiatives of the government, which are facilitating this initiative, is that we help in thinking, innovating, doing research, design, invent, and make in the district itself and give a global market. So what our understanding is that in this ODOP scheme, all institutions of design which are conducting degree programs, ITIs, polytechnics, all have to come together to create an educational and learning ecosystem. Because when we talk about skill development, ITIs would have a major role there. Polytechnics would also have. And what happens is sometimes we are looking at clusters, but clusters have already been identified at some formal level, and there we help the clusters. Our focus is that we should also help the self-help groups, because like what we see in Haryana here, almost in every household, a lady is doing dari weaving. People are doing pottery work. People are doing juti creation work, but they are not identified as clusters. If we could help them to get collected together and facilitate them also under this ODOP scheme, that would be further going into the areas where helping people who are not formally into groups. And we have done one of these workshops, Kilkar, Earning and Learning Through Design, for self-help groups in Panipat district, and where the workshop was conducted by the faculty members to help these ladies under the self-help group who know crochet work, who know patchwork from the cloth and this waste cloth that they got from the Panipat industry. And they were helped to understand how do they make these, toys which could be used for elementary learning in Anganwadis, in primary schools. And they formed their group and they also marketed a bit in the e-retail market. But after this was done in the early 2021, and then second wave of COVID came, which struck this whole industry. But so these are our understandings studying for ODOP and interacting with UP government and giving the proposals that how design can go to the interiors of the country, help in the socio-economic growth, and help this whole sector in moving ahead and getting the global market. And not only formal clusters, but also the self-help groups we could be interacting with. So this is my input as to how we can have this sustainable growth in the districts at this level.
Thank you, Dr. Vanitha, for a wonderful presentation. Do you have any other slides? Okay, done. Great.
No.
So thanks a lot. Very interesting perspectives. You also build on a very nice new point on waste disposal, I think, which was not brought up in the earlier discussion. Very interesting perspective again on how it can be more sustainable, how we use the secondary byproduct. There could be a huge opportunity, as you mentioned, it's happening already in textiles, leather, and glass. Also, was really nice to hear about the aspects of district going to block and blocks going to station, because we often talk of India to the world, but you shared a very interesting perspective. Maybe it should be station to the world, or a block to the world, or a district to the world. So it's really nice. On one hand, our government is trying to take our products global, but the people at the design institutes are looking at the micro management of these aspects and how we can go in detail, not only at a district level, but at a block and a station level. So it's a very nice kind of an aspect of zooming in and zooming out. So thanks for your talk. We just make the panel open for another 5-10 minutes in case if the speakers have any last thoughts on any challenges that you see in ODOP, or more importantly, since all of you are experts in this and have been working so actively, how do we reach ODOP 2.0, or what is the next big jump which is required? Like a lot of panelists have already shared a lot of best practices coming from Kannauj or in Haryana. So how do you feel we can take a bigger jump ahead? I'll just request all the speakers to maybe share in 2-3 minutes their last thoughts on taking this movement to the next level.
I think the major challenge is the costing part. lot of people find handloom and the handicraft items very expensive to be, so that everybody can afford it. Lot of artisans don't know how to cost it. Though during our training programs, we tell them कितना मार्कअप आपको लेना है, कितना प्रॉफिट मार्जिन आपको लेना है. कई बार या तो अपने प्रोडक्ट को इतना ओवर प्राइस कर देगा, या वो अपने प्रोडक्ट को इतना अंडर प्राइस कर देगा कि उसको समझ ही नहीं आएगा. कितनी बार होता है पूछने इसका प्रोडक्ट का कॉस्टिंग कितना है, बोलेगा 200 रुपए. मैंने कहा तुमने क्या लिया है, कहता है मैंने 4 दिन काम किया. तो मैंने कहा तुमको अपना पर ये लेबर चार्जेस पता है कि बेसिक मिनिमम लेबर वेजेस क्या है? तो ही इज नॉट अवेयर ऑफ दैट. कई बार वो क्या करता है, रॉ मटेरियल जैसे आप बोल रहे हो लोकल, जैसे मूंज की घास है या मिट्टी है जो उनको फ्री में मिल जाती है, तो वो रॉ मटेरियल की कॉस्टिंग जोड़ते ही नहीं है. वो केवल क्या करेंगे कि हमने 4 दिन काम किया तो 4 दिन के हिसाब से अपना जो उनका दिन की दिहाड़ी थोड़ी बहुत होती होगी, वो उस हिसाब से अपने प्रोडक्ट को कॉस्ट कर लेते हैं. सो आई थिंक कॉस्टिंग इज अ वेरी बिग इश्यू. अब उनसे या तो आप उनसे पूछे, बोलेंगे कि हमने 7 दिन इस प्रोडक्ट पे काम किया, तो हम पूछते हैं क्या 24 घंटे मतलब 8 घंटे काम किया? तो बोलेंगे नहीं नहीं, जब हम खाना बना लेते थे तो बीच में काम कर लेते थे. तो अगर उन्होंने एक दिन में भी 2 घंटे काम किया और 7 दिन काम किया तो वो उसको 7 दिन में गिनते हैं, तो उनका प्रोडक्ट ओवर प्राइस हो जाता है. तो आई थिंक वी हैव टू टेल देम हाउ टू कॉस्ट अ प्रोडक्ट सो दैट दे बिकम compatible as well, और वो reasonably priced हो. So this is the major challenge which we are facing, कि they have no idea about it. That is the major thing which we are facing, and we have to provide that also.
That's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up. And you're right. I think this is also somewhere it's a difference between the Indian way of working and the Western way of working. You know, somebody was telling me the other day that in business schools in US, how they teach costing is don't worry about the material cost or how much did it cost you to make it. The costing is decided on how much can the consumer pay for it. So the perspective is very different. It's you know, what is the value which the product is offering, and not necessarily the time that, so as you rightly said, many times we may be underpricing or overpricing. Also, Indians are not cost conscious. Indians are value conscious. So I think this is a very important aspect, that how do artisans define the right value of the product and also get the right premium sometimes, especially when they are underpricing it. So really a wonderful point there. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks for that. Dr. Preet, any last thoughts on what are the big challenges, or how can we take a bigger jump in the ODOP program?
I think Amitabh will go the Incredible India route, where every state promotes its own tourism, and then it's unified with a thread, because for a European, they don't understand states. It's a different sort of a federal structure they have. So I think every state starts pushing their ODOP products, and they're all tied under a common thread will be ODOP 2.0.
मेरे ख्याल से एक चीज और भी कर सकते हैं कि जैसे हम लोग की टूरिस्ट गाइडलाइन होती है जिसमें मॉन्यूमेंट्स की विजिट होती है, सो वी कैन ऑर्गेनाइज अ क्राफ्ट टूर ऑल्सो. बहुत सारे बायर्स आते हैं जिनको ये पता ही नहीं होता कि, जैसे हमने बायर्स को बुलाया, उनको पता ही नहीं था हैंडलूम को कैसे बनाया जाता है. जब उन्होंने ताना बाना हैंडलूम पे देखा और कितना एक्सटेंसिव है, तो वो उसकी प्राइस भी देने को राजी होते हैं. तो आई थिंक अ क्राफ्ट टूर डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज, और अगर कोई प्रोमिनेंट है तो even that can be organized, that can be kept in the tourism map as well, so that whosoever is visiting, the way they are visiting Taj Mahal or Lal Killa, they can go to the craft clusters and they can do that tour as well. So I think this will give a better perspective to them, so that they can pay for the product they are buying.
That's again a great insight. So from your experience, ma'am, you're saying that if people are able to, the buyers are able to see the backstory, the what all goes behind the process, they are willing to pay a higher premium and the right cost also for it. So it's actually could be a great marketing tool for people to appreciate the craft behind it, and that creates awareness, as well as the willingness to pay for it also could increase significantly.
For example, everybody visits Taj Mahal, then marble lille ke chote chote product आसपास की दुकानों में हैं. So if they see the making of it, then they can say, okay, fine, ये product आप वो वाला खरीद रहे हो जिसका काम ताज महल में हुआ था, that Pitra Dura work which is on Taj Mahal. So maybe they'll pay a better price. कई बारी और हम सोचते हैं कि फॉरेनर है तो उसके पास बहुत पैसा है सामान खरीदने के लिए, पर वो भी एक अपनी बजटिंग करके आता है कि हमें इतना शॉपिंग करनी है. हिंदुस्तानी जितना शॉपोहॉलिक है उतना फिरंगी शॉपोहॉलिक नहीं है. सो वी हैव टू क्रिएट दैट इंसाइट एंड इंक्विजिटिवनेस इन देम कि जो वो बाय कर रहे हैं वो एक्चुअली एक्सक्लूसिव है और जो आपको कहीं पे भी नहीं मिलेगा. So that makes an impact which I myself have experienced when we have taken buyers to the craft clusters in Varanasi and otherwise.
Amazing. I think I love your passion and how deep you are on the topic, and you're able to look at it from the intersections of various disciplines. So Dr. Preet, any thoughts on this aspect of craft tours? Have you considered something like this for other states in India? Is there a kind of integrated program for initiating such craft tours to have a backstory?
So sometime next year, when we have G20 meetings happening, Honorable CIM Piyush Goyal had suggested a very similar thing in August this year. So yes, this is something that a lot of people are doing, and a lot of states are trying to curate this. In fact, I'll just add a small tidbit here. Something that Ministry of Tourism wanted was, if you can give a indicative ballpark figure of how much this souvenir costs. As ma'am mentioned, it is very easy for us to assume that a foreigner has unlimited amount of money, so they'll pay about $1,000 for a pot. And a lot of times they feel cheated when they realize that at a different place it's not for this amount, right? And they can make a value judgment based on whether it's better, is it handcrafted, what sort of hard work went into it. But a ballpark will quell their fears of being cheated there. So I think yes, that will happen, and we'll add some bit of trust to it as well.
I think we will suggest this to Meghwal ji as well, and he would be very happy to listen to it, and he will surely address what I have. इनफैक्ट ये पता है, ये मेरे दिमाग में अब पहले नहीं था, जब हम आपसे बातचीत कर रहे थे ना, दैट वेरी मोमेंट दिस आइडिया केम टू मी कि कल्चर टूर के साथ साथ क्राफ्ट टूर भी जरूरी है. जब हमने बायर्स को हम वीविंग पॉकेट में लेके गए, वन ऑफ द बायर गॉट सो इमोशनल दैट ही स्टार्टेड क्राइंग, एंड ड्यूरिंग द डिनर ही वाज क्राइंग. आई सेड व्हाट हैपेंड? कह रहे, यू लुक, मई की गर्मी में और पिट लूम, खड्डी लूम में वो पैर डाल के बैठे हैं जहां हम खड़े भी नहीं हो सकते, और वो इतनी गर्मी में सामान कैसे बना रहे हैं मुझे नहीं पता. एंड जब हम जाते हैं तो बोलते ओहो ये तो बहुत ज्यादा महंगा है. नाउ आई एम रेडी टू पे द प्राइस वट एवर दे से. तो लेकिन पे वट एवर द प्राइस का मतलब ये नहीं कि हम उनको लूट लें, क्योंकि ये भी प्रॉब्लम बनारस में आ रही है कि बहुत सारे लोगों को लगता है कि अब जो सामान वो पहले 200 रुपए में खरीद लेते थे, वही सामान आज की तारीख में 500 रुपए भी है. लेकिन एक और भी चीज है कि रॉ मटेरियल की अनअवेलेबिलिटी के कारण भी प्राइसेस फ्लक्चुएट करती हैं. जैसे सिल्क की प्राइसेस, जैसे वुडन टॉयज में कोरैया की लकड़ी अब अवेलेबल नहीं होती, तो हमें बहुत सारी चीजों में उनको अच्छी क्वालिटी का रॉ मटेरियल भी मुहैया कराना पड़ेगा, सो दैट द एंड प्रोडक्ट कम्स अप ब्यूटीफुल.
Great. Dr. Vinita, any last thoughts on the big challenges or how ODOP can take a bigger jump ahead?
You see, my perspective is in continuation to what I said, that we look at our own demographic dividend, because yes, we have to take our products to the global market, but the world vendors, the world companies are looking at our demographic dividend to sell the things here. And this is what we have to look at, our younger generation and our population. And also, as it has been experienced otherwise also, an old craft, if it has to be continued, it has to be made contemporary and it has to be made affordable. Like there is a big learning from telecom industry, how that 10 rupaye ka package came and the telecom industry exploded in the country. If it had remained niche, it would not have exploded so much. So similarly, those smaller products have to come out, simpler ones from the artisans, which sustain the art also, but have a bigger market within the country also. And you see, because today Indian buyer is also very utilitarian. And you have small houses, you don't have so much of bandwidth of maintaining. Like slowly, why brass products one thinks twice to buy? Who will polish it? Do you have that kind of help with you to polish this? So, but this is how, for every product, this is just one example I'm giving, that, you want maintenance-free stuff. And you want the smaller stuff and you want a utility factor to it. So I think these are the aspects that have to be connected with the craft to see if we bring these aspects, there will be an explosion of the sale of these within the country also.
Thank you, Dr. Vinita.
Amitabh, just one, I know I'm not part of the panel, I was listening.
No, you are an important part, Pradyuman ji. Without you, we would not have been there as well.
Just 2-3 points I would like to mention here. First of all, I heard ODOP from Shipraji first. She mentioned about this ODOP scheme is happening, and that is something which we learned from. And second thing is when Mr. Amitabh Kant, which we were talking about, G20 aspect had come in, and the number of meeting like the 2023 is going to be where the Sherpa is in India, and we are hosting this G20. My one point of thing is that yes, the craft is at every level, but this is an opportunity where the excellent craft, the top of the range, you have audience where you can demonstrate that this is what Indian handmade ODOP product, which we consider is the best, because I feel always that India can become global leader on its own strength and not on borrowed strengths. What are your strengths? Where you are on the top? What is the top of the pyramid in our handicrafts? I think this is what this next year, 2023, which Dr. Preet, Shipra and Vinita ji, we have to really work it out that how, and the designers who are listening this program, I think see that this is an opportunity where we can really showcase the excellent work which comes out from India, which is exclusive, which is completely handmade, which has ethos and the cultural angle of these handicrafts. I think handicrafts are the biggest ambassador of your culture to the world. So this aspect, I would say, if we can focus, we can have more emphasis on it, we would be able to position our craft globally very strongly in 2023. Aspects, all the way, all of you have tremendous understanding about taking it forward, but this opportunity we should not lose. We have already lost time. Actually, the January, the secretariat will start, and let's see how we can take it up. If we want to organize another meeting, Chitraji, your institute, or Vinitaji in your institute, let us look into that, how we can really aim for top of the pyramid. I am not talking about at the moment mass production or mass this thing, but I am talking about where we can have excellence example from ODOP, which will be shown. It's I think that I was just looking into G20 only. The 80% of GDP is coming out from this G20. 75% global trade is happening in G20 countries, and 60% planet population is in the G20. And I think Preet would know that how many meetings are there. Going to be hundreds of people are going to come, thousands of people are going to come next year in India. And we should not miss out on this particular opportunity. Let's work towards it. Let us get involved with our design community and craft community and co-create. I always feel that let us always have an equal partnership of the professionals and the crafts people, and have them, give them the same weightage, because many times you learn from them. Some of the knowledge you give them, lot of knowledge you gain from them, and see that the authenticity, ingenuity, purity, all these things we retain and take it to the highest level where people would like to possess that, try to possess those Indian ODOP products. So this is what I would like to mention.
Thank you, Professor Vyas. Thanks for summarizing and also sharing your thoughts. So I think with that, we'll try to close the session. Thank you all the speakers and Professor Vyas for all the insightful points. I'll hand it over to Nitish for closing.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amitabh. And I once again thank you to all the panelists for having such a great discussion and insights on the one district and one product, taking the design ecosystem to the last mile. I once again thank Dr. Amitabh Singh, Ms. Sushri Shukla Madam, Dr. Preetdeep Singh, Dr. Vanita Ahuja to be a part of this panel discussion. With this, we end the first session of the day 2. We would be having our next session of Design in India and Defense in Aerospace at 11:15 a.m. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all panelists. It was really a pleasure listening to all of you.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, Professor Vyas.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amitabh. Bye.
Thank you, Shipraji.
Hi, Suzuki. Play my song.
It's hot and techie. It's hot and techie, hot and techie, hot and techie. It's hot and techie. It's hot and techie, hot and techie, hot and techie.
All new hot and techie Brezza, the city bred SUV.
They say they are a whole new breed. A breed that is born wild and untamed. One is a hybrid by nature. A silent predator. The other is raring for an adventure. A fierce hunter. The new breed is on the prowl, taking on every terrain. Unmatched in their prowess and full of energy. The new breed rises above all others. A new breed of SUVs. The Advanced Grand Vitara. Rule every road.
Nexa.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you and you are audible, visible. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. So I would like to bring up a PPT
Okay.
just to set the context.
No problem, sir.
So, shall I start sharing?
No, sir. So the MC will announce your name and he will introduce you. Then he will invite you and then you can start sharing.
Great, great. Thank you.
Okay. We are just waiting for Professor Lahari to join and then we can start the session.
Sounds good. Thanks.
A very good morning to all the panelists and the participants who have joined for this session. I welcome you all to the day 2 of session 2 of the Design in India in Defense and Aerospace. I would like to first introduce you all to Professor Pradyumna Vyas, Senior Advisor, Confederation of Indian Industry, Board Member, World Design Organization, and former Director, National Institute of Design. I welcome you, Professor Vyas. Now I would like to take this opportunity to introduce today's panelist for this session, Mr. V. Ravichandar. Mr. V. Ravichandar is the Global Co-Chief Operating Officer for Aerospace Division Dynamic Technologies Limited, Bangalore. He joined Dynamic in 2016, a pioneer leader in the Indian private sector for the manufacture of high-precision airframe structures and aerospace components. Mr. Ravichandar has 24 plus years of career experience in product operations, quality assurance, lean manufacturing, value engineering, project management, and driving continuous improvement to cross-functional team across 10 countries. I welcome you, Mr. Ravichandar. Mr. Sanjeev Manipali. Mr. Sanjeev Manipali is the consulting engineer and advanced technology in GE Aviation. He has more than span of 22 years of an experience. He has worked on several engine programs like GEnx, LEAP, GE9X, G90, and many more. His area of expertise is turbo machinery design and systems engineering. He is currently consulting engineer working on new technology programs. I welcome you, Mr. Sanjeev. Professor Devrupa Lahiri. Professor Devrupa Lahiri is an associate professor jointly in the Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering and Center of Nanotechnology, IIT Roorkee. She has received her PhD in Material Science and Engineering from Florida International University, from IIT Kanpur, and from Bengal Engineering College. I welcome you, Professor Devrupa. Our next speaker, Mr. S. Venkatesan. Mr. S. Venkatesan is currently the head India Design Services, Centum Adeno, India. He has more than 34 plus years of experience in professional experience, with 14 years in managing large engineering groups and 8 years in R&D. I welcome you, Mr. Venkatesan. Mr. S. M. Vaidya is currently the business head of Godrej Aerospace. After graduating from India's Premier Institute of IIT Powai in metallurgical, he chose to work in India and build his career in welding. Was given the responsibility to set up welding department in Godrej Process Equipment Division in 1987 for a wide range of alloys as per international standards. I welcome you, Mr. Vaidya. With this, I would now like to hand it over to Mr. Ravichandar to take the session forward, please.
Yeah, Thank you and good morning, speakers. So I would like to bring up a quick presentation to just give you the background of the company which I represent. So allow me a minute, let me bring this up. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, speakers, for taking time out and spending your valuable energy on discussing this topic, design in India. I represent aerospace and defense manufacturing in India. And before we start into the topic, I would like to give you an overview of what the company I represent and how do we see this topic. So I represent Dynamatic Technologies Limited. We are into collaborative advanced manufacturing, headquartered in Bangalore, having multiple manufacturing locations in India and in Europe. There are 3 business verticals, primarily focusing on hydraulics, metallurgy, and aerospace. I represent aerospace. So we do a lot of work in India and complementing our aerospace business is the UK, Bristol and Swindon facility, which supports much of our manufacturing activity. In Germany, we have metallurgy, and in North America, we have a small footprint servicing the hydraulic customers. So as a company, we are into 3 verticals. The oldest is the hydraulics. The second to start with the hydraulics experience was the aerospace and defense. And the third
presentation
may I request you to go on mute, please? And the third vertical is the metallurgy, which focuses primarily on the castings and forgings. So as a business, we are an Indian company. We started our engagement in a very small way. As you are aware, there were only few private sectors in 1990s, and Dynamatic Technologies Limited was one among them. As we did smaller work, there was a time when HAL assigned much of a larger work package on Sukhoi 30 MKI. So all the green ones colored are the assemblies which we were a partner from fabricating the sheet metal parts, machine parts, and supplying the assembly direct into the final assembly line in HAL Nashik division. So we were co-located. So this was the ask by the customer that it should be direct line fit. So we made an arrangement to go inside HAL, co-locate, and this was the first public-private partnership. As we speak, we did about 130 aircraft sets, and this is a sunset program. We continue our engagement with HAL and Make in India contributions with the Tejas light combat aircraft front fuselage. So we have completed 2 sets of front fuselage and handed over to HAL, and we continue to contribute to HAL as a trusted supplier. So here again, this is built to design. These are the 2 programs which we do for the domestic markets, while as a company in 2005 and 6, we went west, and while Airbus was looking east. So we are the single source supplier of flap track beams for all the families of single aisle Airbus A318, 19, 20, and 21. So towards the right, there is a wing. Below the wing, there are different parts which are colored in green. So those are called as flap track, which supports the aircraft during takeoff and landing. So we are a single source. We produce about 800 aircraft sets per year. On the Boeing, This is the Boeing P-8 submarine hunter. We are a direct super tier 1 to Boeing for manufacture and assembly of power and mission cabinets, which goes inside the aircraft, which hosts most of their mission critical equipments. Just to give you a snapshot, these are the types of products what we do, very highly complex products. On the Chinook CH-47, we produce the products colored in green again, pylon and ram. We are the source outside of the US. And these are again flight critical products, very large aerostructures, very complex in terms of materials and processes. So in 2014, when the Prime Minister of India was announcing the Make in India, he used these as examples where even before the Make in India campaign was launched, Dynamatic was already started producing these products. So he made a reference in one of his speeches. We also have done work for Boeing fighter jets in a very small way. And the recent addition to our fighter jet program is the Boeing F-15, where we are doing the midsection. We are also a global single source for the helicopters, Bell 407, which is the world's best-selling helicopter. We do about 100 aircraft sets every year pre-pandemic, and right now we are doing about 65 sets. So in short, we are an Indian company with a global brand. So with this background, I would like to start today's topic by requesting the speakers to really understand what this design in India in defense and aerospace means. Over the last 24 years, and many of you have spent numerous years for working in aerospace and defense industry. But what we have seen is the work packages are the assignments what we get from the customers are primarily focusing on build to print. There has been very little engagement when it comes to a process improvement activity or a product improvement activity. So far in my 24 years of experience with working with global OEMs, there has been at least, I would say, less than 5% opportunity to really look at how to redesign a product or re-engineer a product. We have done definitely some of the work, but it is not significant where we could say that we have gained experience. So what the customer wants from India or from a manufacturing partner like us is a high value addition, no problems from an engineering standpoint, 100% on-time delivery with acceptable quality, and the appetite to really be flexible when things go out of control, quickly come back, be resilient, and sustain our business, whether it is a pandemic kind of a situation or whether it's a demand drop situation. So this is what as a company we have gone through, and much of the work what we do currently is a build to print. So with this, I would like to request the first speaker, Sanjeev Manepalli, to give his perspective of this particular topic. So Manepalli, in the interest of time, I would request you to take about 8 to 9 minutes so that the 1 or 2 minutes we can spend on looking at the various key aspects of your talk.
Okay, thanks Ravichandra. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. I want to share the presentation. Okay. Let me know when you can see the presentation.
Yes,
we can see now.
Okay. So when I first got to know that, the topic, especially design in India in defense and aerospace, I was just thinking, what would be more useful for the participants here, right? So when it really comes to design in India, and especially in defense and aerospace, right? To me, it really requires a lot of vision, dedication, and also setting up really a very long-term objective, right? So I thought, I would take you through some of our journey, like over the past 20 to 23 years. There are some salient aspects which the participants could really gain out of our journey. So that's the intent of this presentation. So let me jump into the presentation. So we are part of a global engineering company. GE Aviation supplies both in commercial and defense aviation systems. So as a part of GE Aviation in India, we are integral part of a global team engaged in research, the developmental activities, manufacturing, supply chain, and also in the digital world, right? As of today, we are about 1,000+ engineers in the Bangalore, engaged in next gen development, technology development. We are talking about something like 10-15 years down the line kind of a technology and products, and also designing the products which we are introducing in the near term, and supporting the regional fleet, right? And then the digital product development. When it comes to manufacturing, we have set up a multi-model factory in Pune, over 67 acres, one of the state-of-the-art facility. We are also partnering with a lot of local partners to really enhance the supply chain in India. When it comes to the infrastructure kind of a thing, we have invested about 220 million here in India to really have a lot of these labs developed. We have 100+ labs in Bangalore. When it comes to the strengths, we are a innovation powerhouse for the business, right? We have 500+ patents, which are patented already from the engineers in India. And we are known for the wide body product leadership. We have a lot of engineering happening for the wide body products here from Bangalore and India. And we are known for the next generation of technology developments. And we also have teams working to support the regional customers and the manufacturing partners. So in essence, we are really synergizing, the Indian talent and the brain power, knowledge power, with the kind of GE Aviation's technology leadership to really bring outstanding, products to the world, basically aviation industry. So a little more about our investments in India. We have established in a big way in 2000 by really launching this John F. Welch Technology Center in Bangalore. We have a 50-acre campus. This is the largest outside of US for GE. And we have about 4,000+ engineers working for different GE businesses. We also have 100+ scientists and researchers at a global research arm for aerospace in India. As I said, we have 100+ labs. We have invested significantly in really developing the laboratories. And overall, the Indian contribution to GE's innovation, we have about 3,800 patents as of today. So when it comes to really developing a world-class engineering activities in India, right, as I said, you need to have a vision, dedication, and also a long-term objective, right? We started very humble background. We started with really, supporting, as Ravichandra said, in engineering, like a work packages, delivering on work packages, and slowly, we built credibility to really compete in the world. And, we have really played a long-term kind of a thing, right? So we have 1,000 people working in aviation today, and we recruit from the best universities here. 60% of them has advanced degrees beyond bachelor's, and we are in existence for 20+ years. And from really the engineering competency standpoint, when really it comes to the design in India kind of a thing, there is a life cycle aspect of the product, right? It's not just really design and manufacture and put it in the field. We need to also serve the customers when this product is in the service, right? So we have built these competencies over the life cycle of our product. So I would really take you in the next slide a little more details about it. And from an infrastructure, I already talked about some of the infrastructure facilities and things like that. We also have a very high performance computing, about 10,000 cores of computing power we have in India today to really help our engineers. So in terms of really the impact, what we are really creating, I talked about some of those. We are integral part of our next gen, engine developments, which we are coming in 15 years. There is a lot of literature and, information available about our RISE program. We are a big part of that. And from aviation systems, we are really doing a brand new starters and generators prototype design and testing in India. We have participated in a 414 INS6 qualification for light combat aircraft. And we also are the engineering for really the region. When I really talk about region customers kind of a thing, it somewhere starts from the Middle East and really covers the entire throughout the area, throughout the Asia, right? So we serve the customers. We have engineering teams, who help our, MRO facilities within the region. And we also really support the manufacturing activities and the supply chain what we have built in this region. Along with this, we are leveraging the digital part of India, right? India is known for the digital, so we have about 450 plus digital and data scientists working here, where we are really leveraging these digital skill set, to really enhance our engineering activities. We are also implementing these digital and data sciences in the way we serve our customers for the fielded products. So when I talk about really the life cycle skills, right? As I said, there is a technology development piece of it, there is a product development piece of it, there is a service portion of it, and there is a digital and analytics portion of it. So when it really comes to the advancement of our technologies, this is really a very niche engineering activity which happens in this area of life cycle. We are really talking about very long-term-ish, 10-15 years down the line, right? So already this particular aerospace is really very competitive, very niche products, and imagine we are developing something for the next 15 years. So we have excellent, engineering teams really providing the technologies for those next generation engines. This really comes with a lot of investments, dedication, as I said, in terms of developing the talent across, right? Not just in one field. If you really see the kind of things what we have listed here, it talks about, aero mechanics, it talks about combustion, it talks about dynamics, it talks about mechanical engineering, new architectures, materials, right? So a lot of things. And when it comes to the product engineering, it's all about really launching a new product with the customer and taking from, from really a concept of a product to the certification of a product, right? And when it talks to services engineering, it's all about once we put the product in the field, how do we serve them, right? These products really run for 40 years, right? So we need engineering teams to really be on the forefront to really support the products. So we do that. And as I said, we are leveraging the digital and analytics in a big way to really serve our customers in a way that, our products would be the best in the market. So some other things what we are really doing in addition to design in India for the world, we are also really having a lot of public-private partnerships with a lot of institutions in India. So in terms of really developing the next generation of technologies, we are partnering with some of the well-renowned institutes, as you see on the slide. We recently set up a additive manufacturing center of excellence in partnership with the government of Tamil Nadu through TIDCO. So it's been in the news. Then we are really developing the services technology side of, how do we really do the advanced inspections of the engines, right? On wing, off wing. How can we really do advanced repair techniques, right? So we are collaborating with a lot of these institutes to really develop those technologies. And on the aviation systems, as I said, we are really venturing into developing a new center line for the starters and generators, we are partnering with some of the research institutes in India, and we are also testing them with the institutes what we have in India. And on the digital side as well, we are really partnering with the institute. So we are really going out and really hand-holding and co-developing whatever we are doing with the ecosystem what we have in India. And what I really talked about so far is really on the commercial side of it. We are playing on the digital, on the defense side of it. So as you know, we are the sole source on the Tejas Mark 1 with the 404 kind of engines. So we have delivered the first set of engines. We are ready to deliver the next set of engines for the Tejas Mark 1. And we have completed our F414 INS6, qualification with the Indian agencies. We have delivered the flight test engines, and Tejas Mark 2, when it really comes to the flight test, we are going to support that. And we are also really proposing the 414 power plant for the AMCA, right? So it really offers a low risk derivative offering, having known that India has gone for 404 and 414 platform, and extending that would really benefit the life cycle cost for the Indian customer. So we are really actively engaged there, and hopefully with the governments and our customers really deciding which direction they want to go, we are really ready to support. So this is my last slide.
Yeah.
In terms of really concluding, right, as our journey of it, 23 years, we started with really delivering the packages, and slowly we have set ourselves a vision in terms of really developing ourselves into, rather than a kind of a delivering on the packages, we really expanded our footprint with a lot of thought process and dedication in terms of excelling on the entire life cycle of the engineering kind of a thing.
Okay. Thanks, Sanjeev. It was a very nice storyline, because it takes at least a decade or two to really understand the engineering in aerospace and defense. So that is what even personally I have seen, and many of the companies have seen. But it is great to know that GE not only has learned the hard way and started delivering the excellence in the build to print, build to spec, but also have gained experience in doing the design activities and making it. So it is, we are really excited to know that GE is doing a lot of work for Indian customers or Indian requirements as well. So congratulations, and thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Raj.
Yeah. So may I request Professor Devrupa Lahiri to speak on this topic. We are sure that you have heard us so far, which is the core engineering activity, but you represent academia. So we are more interested in knowing your perspective of this subject in India. Over to you, Devrupa.
Good morning, all, and thank you, Mr. Ravichandran. Yes, of course, I was hearing, and sorry about in between. I didn't realize that my microphone was on. So, yeah, I will just try to share.
Yeah.
Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes. And just to let you know that we have 10-minute slot for you, and you can
right, sure.
Thank you.
So I believe you can see it in a full screen mode, the presentation.
Yes.
So yes, thank you. And of course, good for mentioning, like my presentation, I was thinking that it will be probably totally different than yours. So it was very interesting to hear your side, because that we generally miss. So what I'm going to, without going in further into it, I'll just try to squeeze this into 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to talk about the armor material, the new designs that might be coming up for the same. And what will be the role of carbon nanomaterials in that, in enhancing the materials design in case of defense application? So directly coming into it, generally there are two types of materials that are coming into the new design. Well, the main problem with the armors, when we are talking about, we are actually talking about the jackets, which are generally used for the protection of the middle part of a body, which is a sleeveless kind of jacket. So their main problem right now is the weight, because generally we use strong metal pieces in it and sometimes hard baked ceramics. So it becomes somewhere between more than 10 to like 18 kgs, which is very difficult for our people to wear for longer time. And then the second is that, of course, they are good to stop the incoming bullets. But in that process, there is a blunt kind of damage that happens because the bending of the jacket. So blunt kind of damage that happens in the other side, which is often a source of damage to the bodily part and sometimes the vital organs, because that's what the middle part of our body is, a vital organ. So these are being taken care recently by different kind of design developments, and there are some made in India efforts also. So I'll briefly cover into it and maybe try to give an idea about what we think will be a best design and we are working on. So there are two types of, well, when we look for any field, like be it in aviation, be it in automobile or in armor, when we look for lighter weight, our choice of materials are polymer based. But then the polymers are having the inherent capability of making the material lightweight, corrosion resistance and all that, while they have a mechanical properties, mechanical attributes which are kind of poor as compared to metals and ceramics. So that's where people are working on. The two special structures that are making the materials, the structures lightweight yet tough, are one is laminated composite. We use it a lot in different applications. These are basically fibers with different orientation packed with polymers. We call them as pre-pegs and then laminated, compressed together to give a polymer. So schematic over here, I'll just try to get the laser pointer. Yeah. So the schematic over here gives an idea about it. And this is a real picture of such a laminate. These are really tough. I won't say very hard, but definitely tough. Fracture toughness is very high and lightweight. And the second one is the foam. So this foam is a porous kind of structure. We do often use metal foams as well. Those are in current application for lightweight things, including armors. But polymer foams give us an added advantage of having even lighter weight. And then if we can make them really strong, that's where the challenge is. So these two materials are a very good structural paths for any kind of lightweight application. Of course, armor is one of them. So directly going into laminated composites, right now laminated composites see a lot of application in different areas, including the I'm sure our panel members today are many are from aviation, so they know a lot of part in Airbus, then automobiles. The recent the sports car models of Ferrari, most of it is now carbon fiber composites, which are nothing but carbon fibers with polymer coatings. Then floor construction, sports equipments, and they are slowly coming into the armors as well. So if we just go for a little bit statistics of the armor material, which we're going to talk about over here, with all these data of increasing rate, what interests us is that there's a highest growth rate on polymer matrix composites in this area. And also Southeast Asia has been where India is, since one of the country, has been a big supplier of this kind of materials for this any purpose, basically, not only armor. So when we are talking about this polymer matrix composites coming into the armor field, I would like to mention one thing is that these armor materials, earlier it was like only for defense. Nowadays it's coming to a commoner's life as well. Some incidents in countries where the keeping arm is not that restricted, there are events where which makes the commoners to to be driven towards having some kind of armor jacket, and which we of course want it to be very lightweight, because we cannot keep on wearing and roaming around. So that's where this kind of textiles and materials are becoming even more available to be researched on and to be bringing into the application. So right now in the armor industry, the kind of polymeric things that we're using are coming in like ultra high molecular weight polyethylene that already had an application in different sectors of defense, including for shock resistance. Now they're coming into armor as well. Then there are other kind of fibers, carbon fiber reinforced polymers. Metals were anyway already there. Then they're coming this kind of structure, which are layer composites of metal, ceramics, and polymers. These are what is already available in the market, of course, with those disadvantages that I have already mentioned once. And so coming to this, and there are other fibers as well. Aramid fibers are a very important one for this kind of applications. Kevlar is one of the commercial name. And then there are people are working with different other fibers, be it of natural origin or synthetic origin. Carbon fiber based composites, these are used. Now, when we are talking about this kind of fiber based laminated composites stopping the bullets, so what is the mechanism? The bullets will come, hit on the surface, there will be compression of the piles. These are laminates, they will get compressed, and in that process they will try to stop the kinetic energy of the bullet. So that will be done in two ways. One is the shearing or deformation of each of the layer, and then second one is the delamination of the piles. These are the two processes that will absorb the energy, and that's how the bullet will be stopped. But in this process, and there will be some kind of bending. Now this happens not only for polymers, this happens for layers of metals, and ceramics actually get in total, if there is a very high shock, that can totally get shattered. Metals, they get permanently deformed. The best thing with polymers are that in the localized heating they get molten and then again resolidify, so giving the resistance. But then of course we have this bending, which is not at all acceptable. So they will give a kind of a blunt damage to the body. That is yet the thing. This Vava Kavach, I'm sure maybe you all have learned about it. The scientists from BARC, they have developed this one, totally indigenous one. This has again this polymer reinforced with carbon nanofilms, as well as some ceramic plates into it, making this whole thing that was been supplied in good number in Ladakh also to our Jawans. And this one has actually given the equivalent performance while reducing the weight of these jackets from more than 10 kgs to around 6 kgs. Right, so that's a good amount of reduction in weight, giving the same performance. But with this one still have this ceramics in a good amount, which is making the weight to be on the higher side. And if we can actually totally replace it with polymer things, we can come down to as light as like 2.5 to 3 kgs, which should be our aim right now. That's what is a belief, and that's where the researchers are working on. So if we come to the polymer, this laminated composites, right now they are kind of well-developed composites, as I've mentioned to you, and you all know they are being used in Airbuses and sports cars and some armor jackets. So they are well-developed already. But the problem are still existing, like they have a problem of delamination. The interfaces are very poor, and through the interface, the crack propagates very easily, making them fail at points. So that's where the researchers are still trying to improve that property. Matrix property, basically the fibers are strong, the polymers that are there, matrix is a weak point. So people are trying in majorly two different mechanisms, fiber surface modification and matrix modification. Just giving a glimpse into it, if you do a fiber surface modification using carbon nanomaterials, we can actually get a very high improvement in the tensile properties, which are very much required, interlaminar shear strength, that is also a fractural strength. If we do the matrix modification using carbon nanomaterials, again we get very high improvement. So some of our work we have seen, we get as high as 56% improvement in tensile strength, as high as 154% improvement in fracture toughness. That is very good. And when we form a composite like the carbon fiber and carbon nanofiller into matrix all together, we get as high as 60 to 70% improvement, a value of 959% improvement in safe epoxy to 1523 when we modify the matrix. So these are
very nice topic, because these are life-saving materials and devices. And
so maybe if I can take like 1 or 2 minutes to summarize.
Because yeah, you can start summarizing because
yeah. So right now, people are applying using the foams also for armor application, because foams are giving lot of because of the porous structure, they actually make the bullet stop taking lot of kinetic energy into it, while they don't show the deformation, so no backbending, giving the blunt. But what people are using mostly are metallic foams, yet giving a higher weight. So, but when we use the polymer foams with some carbon nanofillers, again, we can get really good properties. This is one of the recent, patent by US, where they're using this metallic foam and polymeric foam also, and the metallic covers and ballistic materials as a design for, this is not yet in market, this is a patent design, giving the best properties. And what we strive to do over here is to replace all with the polymers. We are coming up with we are actually in the stage of checking our design aspects and materials aspects. So hopefully in 1 or 2 years, we will be able to share that new design, which will be actually very lightweight, yet giving all the taking away all the disadvantages. So I think that's what it is. I would like to, we got, of course, funding from different government agencies as well as private ones for developing this kind of materials. And I'd like to thank you. This is our team.
Thanks, Reprabha. So it was very nice hearing about the various design activities you are doing towards the protection of our valuable armed forces and people at large. So what we have heard in the two presentations are while GE is focused on transporting lives and saving lives, you are also in the same business. So irrespective of the different kinds of competencies we are into, but ultimately we are responsible in the lives of the human lives. So we either are in the business of transporting lives or life saving. So I strongly believe that we are on the right track, doing a lot of contributions when it comes to what India wants, reducing the supplies from imports, as well as increasing our contributions to Make in India. So let me invite Mr. Venkateshan, head India Design Services Center, to give his perspective on this topic.
Yeah, thank you, Ravichandran. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how do I share my screen. Maybe I will give a glimpse of what the company is all about. Centum is basically an electronics manufacturing organization as it started, but currently we are into a lot of design and engineering services, plus manufacturing. And we are globally present. Most of our revenue comes from Europe and Asia. And we are an aerospace and defense company. If you look at our portfolio, we sell our products for space and defense predominantly. And we do a lot of R&D works in-house. And if you look at any satellites which are getting launched, at least 10 to 15% of electronics goes from our company. And not only that, from an aerospace perspective, we do a lot of BTS activity, supplying to Airbus, Safran, and Thales. And we have been doing this for the last 20 to 30 years. So we are a core engineering organization with BTS and BTP services for customers, both domestic and global. So with this context, I will share with some of my thoughts on this topic. See, if you look at design in India is actually what we want and what we desire as we do as Make in India. So Make in India is already happening. And we are already progressing very well in that aspects. But what we need to do, what we wanted to do is design in India. And predominantly, if you look at Chinese is a major competitor for us. in terms of both Make in India and Design in India. Why I say this is, if I look at Make in India as a Chinese as a competitor, they are massive in terms of people as well as infrastructure and the processes, and we are equivalently good, but anyway, it's very tough to compete with China. And what we have to differentiate from China is, ideally, we have to make designs in India. So for this to happen, we should do some few things which already happening, but we should really emphasize, or people, the policymakers, to focus on these areas. One is, how do we make designs in India? So that's one part. It's really needs a lot of radical thinking than just doing some bits and pieces of design work in India. So if I want to say I want to design in India, you should really understand what the customer is asking for, what is the product is doing, what value addition we should give, what technology we should really build for future. This kind of thinking has to come in, and that's really a need to get into design in India. And if you look at, to build this, there are a lot of pillars required. One is the way we look at the local market, right? You can start building some solutions for the local market, which will graduate you to that platform. And if you look at the design of indigenization for defense, and that's already happening, and I think all the armed forces have taken a large steps to indigenize a lot of subsystem systems, which also have bringing that design culture in the country. And third part is the academics and the research which is happening. If you look at some few parameters or KPIs, if you look at a global scenario and an Indian scenario, the research is hardly 1% compared to other other countries, which is typically 3 to 5%, which is far low for us. I think we should really focus on encouraging the research and innovation in India. And patenting is another area where we should really focus on. And currently, if you look at, we are just less than 1% of patent happens compared to other countries. I think there also, even people don't know what is patent in some of the people, and we should really cultivate that, bring in the culture of patenting our solutions. So, and third part is academics. If you look at DRDO, there are a lot of in the name of transfer of technology. We are bound to get a lot of transfer of technology, but all this transfer of technology is very limited to some level of manufacturing, some level of small systems. But the core technology is still not yet getting transferred. So if you look at all this, I think from a defense perspective, I think DRDO has identified at least 26 different technologies, which is to be inbuilt, to be done in India. For that, the academics should really support. Like, for example, if these technologies have to be developed, there has to be some curriculum or specialization to be done in the academics, in the institutions, so that the technology comes up. And even if you look at China, in 1952, they 2 universities have started building aerospace curriculum, and today they have started building some aerospace helicopters, fighters, and things like that. So something like that we should also do from an academics point of view. And with all this, I think there are certain things which is happening, but we still need to graduate to a larger extent. And like, for example, as we told, Dynametrics and GE, we are already doing a lot of innovation, things like that in India. But this is not sufficient. We should really graduate more and more to bring the design in India concept. Even if you look at the current scenario of Airbus, Boeing, they are establishing a lot of R&D centers here, and they are tying up with a lot of institutions here in India. But this is not enough. I think we should be self-sufficient to bring this design culture in India than depending on others. So if I want to conclude, even if I compare to 20, 30 years back, and we are current situation, we are far, far better. But this is not enough. We need to really still catch up with the world. So we need to do a lot of the basic infrastructure in terms of bringing culture and bringing academics to the speed, bringing public-private partnership more and more to get scaled up.
Yeah, thanks, Venkatesan. Absolutely agree with you. And we have been seeing Centum doing wonderful work on the electronics side of the aerospace and defense. While we know you as a company very well, we have learned a lot of things from you as well on how to design products for different applications. So while we heard the three speakers, what is common here is we have graduated ourselves to a build to print, to a build to spec, and we are comfortable doing it. We have the right resources, the competencies to take up more work and meet the KPIs of the customer as well as the internal stakeholders. However, the term design in India, it's a kind of we are moving towards it, but not really there. So to add more insights into this topic, I invite Mr. Vaidya to give us the insights on and his perspective of this topic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ravichandran, and it's my pleasure to be here with all the fellow panelists. Thank you, CII, for offering me this particular. I'm not actually a designer, but I'm going to bring a perspective of as a manufacturer for last 30 years into this aerospace and defense activities, what way we look at designs and how we can really take designs to a next level. Just a brief background about Godrej. As you know, Godrej is a consumer manufacturing company, but diversified way back in 1985 into Indian space program. And today, all the liquid engines which are powering the launch vehicles are being built by us, like Vikas engines and the cryogenic engines, and the next generation of 2 versions of cryogenic engine. We are also involved into semi-cryogenic engine, which is going to take the big payloads up to maybe 10 tons into geosynchronized orbit, or even the lower Earth orbits. And that is how the Gaganyaan, that is human in space, and the technology which we are going to use it for in case we are going to put our own space station. Coming to defense, that's the second vertical in which we work. We are the major contributors to most of the missile programs, and we started with IGMT with Dr. Kalam, and today we have a major contribution into BrahMos. Almost 75% of the BrahMos is produced at Godrej at a rate of something like 5 sections per month, and it is gained a lot of momentum now because of the Atmanirbhar and making everything in India, make in India policy. It is helping BrahMos to save a lot of foreign exchange from Russia. We also have other contributions in other missile programs. I will not go into the details, but coming to the civil aviation or into the aviation side, we have expertise in manufacturing the LRUs like actuators, valves, regulators, filters. And very soon you will see that the 85 LCAs which are being built by HAL now will start using the primary actuators which are coming from Godrej. This we have taken it to other platforms also for Boeing and Airbus through Eaton and Parker and Honeywell and Move. We also have now major investments which have been done, more than 300 crores into getting ourselves ready to manufacture all types of aero engines. And we have secured the first major order from GTRE, manufacturing the 55 kilonewton engine. And we are also working with Rolls-Royce, Safran, all the big names in the world for setting up exclusive facilities into aircraft engines. Now, with this background, as you understood that we have probably everything in materials, and we also do a lot of work in composites. I will not go into the details. I want to specifically come to some of the aspects of the design which we feel which are very, very vital and important. And as a country, we must really take it. I will not use my presentation. It will take longer time. So I will go ahead, and in case anyone wants, I can share this presentation. There are only 4 slides. But what I wanted to really bring about is it only the aerospace and defense which is suffering designs in India, or is really India not culturally equipped or adequately supported by various authorities and our own culture to get into the designs? I think there is a huge shortage of designers in every sector, whether it is aerospace, defense. We surely know that we are 20 years behind. I have worked with defense and space, and I know that surely we are 20 years behind. A simple regional jet, still we are not yet ready to really launch it. So that shows that where we stand today as far as our designs are concerned. Probably manufacturing wise, we can take it up, but unless we have designs. And one of the fundamental, I think, improvement which is required is, in case we want to be a designers for the world, then it's very, very important and pertinent for us to have expertise in materials, because that is how the properties will get decided and the designers will have a choice. Today, I think probably good designers in India are also dependent on foreign companies who will support them in getting us material. We don't have access. There are embargoes. We don't get certain sizes. We don't get certain bought out sensors or other electronic items. I mean, I know that we just had a talk from Centum, and I really wish them a good luck so that we can get more and more such difficult items for designers to use it. If you are given only a limited option to choose and then design, then I don't think designers will be able to use its full efficiency or the innovative ideas what he is going to bring. So I think that is the first thing which the material sciences team and the government should work together to ensure that we have all types of materials, and the development which is happening in the chips, I think, is going to be really very, very important for India. Once we have a chip manufacturing in India, I think subsequent developing hardwares and softwares will not be a problem. So that's the first area, I think, as a designers, we should put together to government, that making ourselves independent of the rest of the world on the dependency on materials, that should be eliminated. Second and most important as per me is that if we have ideas, my working with ISRO and DRDO tells me that when we are getting a technology for BrahMos, or when we got a technology for cryogenic engines from Russia or currently from Ukraine, thousands and thousands of Go standards have been dumped onto us. And the importance of these standards and codes from that particular country is so important that you don't have to then bring many things into design. The standard itself elaborates. Unfortunately, in India today, we don't have a single standard which we can use it and really demonstrate that we have gone one step ahead of design and really understood how to make specifications and codes. And this should be based on what is required in India, what is available in India, what can be manufactured in India, what technology access we have, and how do we really improve based on this. We don't have to really copy anything from the rest of the world as far as the standards are concerned. The third area I think important is how do we really go into the basic design or basic understanding of the technologies or the R&D. And a very good interaction between academia, R&D labs, the manufacturers, the concurrent engineering. We speak a lot about it, but when it comes to implementing that, I think we still have a lot of partitions between these four fundamental wings of design, starting from basic R&D at the institution academic levels, getting that into the applied research or applied development into R&D, R&D coupled with production agencies. I mean, like we have TRL, we should also start monitoring the MRL, the manufacturing readiness level. It is not only good to develop a product, I think it is important to develop that product in large numbers and really gain a confidence that this part is manufacturable. And with this particular production technology, we can compete with the rest of the world. There is no point in only designing something which is going to be very expensive. No armed forces in the world will be able to afford it. So that's the third area. And the fourth and the last area which I would like to really focus is onto the test facilities. So the designers have to really take a lot of efforts in specifying along with their designs. They do put a lot of notes into their detailed drawings and assembly drawings, but very rarely we talk about how this particular testing, because in aerospace and defense, actual testing is going to be very expensive. We need to have some kind of a simulated chambers, like high altitude test chambers. I mean, Kaveri Indian 20 years we have been developing, but we don't have simple test stand to test that. And what it takes is only to invest into an aircraft and make it. If we are investing so far in 20 years, thousands of crores must be invested. I think another 1,000 crore we invest and create a high altitude test facilities. The designers in India will find it extremely easy to do a part level or a full engine level testing and gain a confidence which otherwise it depends upon which country you are taking it, how much he is ready to share his test data, and whether he is going to give you full access while the testing is being done. I think these are all the very, very difficult things. We know that the cryogenic engine, when we built it first, we had a choice of sending it to Russia or to build a high altitude test chamber here. And when ISRO took that decision, invested into it, we have one of the best, I think, high altitude test chambers for the space programs, but unfortunately it is not good for the routine aircrafts where we have a longer durations to be tested. And similarly, there are a number of examples. I mean, I don't want to take time, but most important is that these 4 or 5 aspects, it is not only the innovation culture what we should have it, but we should also have a supporting structure and a supporting paraphernalia, acceptance by the government and public-private partnership, academia and the industry partnership to really make the design concepts in India very successful. And then only we'll be able to truly move from build to print to build to spec, and tomorrow why spec? I mean, we should be able to really think on our own ideas as to what is required by our armed forces or what is required tomorrow for the space, instead of copying and trying to do it here. So with this, I will stop here, and once again, thank you, and wish all designers a great success so that we will be able to support and make in India and made in India successful. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thanks, Vaidya. Very insightful talk. You touched upon the product testing, certification, specifications, and standards at large, because even I have worked in my previous engagements with standards. Most of the time, we try to adopt different standards, but not a kind of Indian standard per se. So just wanted to thank all the speakers for touching upon this very important topic. And what we could see is the synergy between the different companies focusing on R&D, material development, product development, specifications and standards, developing products for the Indian environment. I strongly believe that as a ecosystem, we are on the right track, doing the build to print, build to spec, and working on various opportunities on the design aspects as well. However, we all tend to agree that it's a tall task, and we keep doing this for the next few decades, and we should be graduating ourselves from making India to a design in India ecosystem. So with this, I would like to conclude today's session, and thanks again CII for giving us the opportunity to speak on this very important topic. Over to you, Nitish.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ravi Chandra, for conducting this session. And I would like to thank all the speakers to be a part of this panel discussion. Would look forward to having your presence in the next session, that is on the Design Excellence Awards ceremony. And I would like to thank each one of you, Mr. Ravichandra, Mr. Sanjeev Manipali, Professor Devrupa Lahiri, Mr. S. Venkatesan, and Mr. S. M. Vedya for sharing your inputs. Thank you so much. We look forward to
Nitish.
Yeah,
Nitish,
please.
just, Nitish.
Yes. Professor Vyas, I would also like to get your inputs before we close this session.
No, I thought that it's such an exciting session. I was just listening to all of you, and the idea of why we brought this session in Design Summit. Obviously, we are not talking a hardcore engineering design. We are talking more on human-centered design, where the user is a focus, whether it is a defense or whether it is aerospace. And we thought that the knowledge which you share today is our community designers who are into product design, UI, UX, and looking into the product diversification. So they get insight that this very high-tech value-added things which are happening, how design fraternity, which is not really getting into stress design in this area. Working in NID for so many years, we have a very strong connection with defense, whether it was submarine or ship or including BrahMos when we were working on that, how the information will go on BrahMos. So all this, we felt that the stories need to be told to designers. And I see that what value they can bring in. It is not only the product design, but is the process innovation. Sometimes because you have to see to believe that dynamic technologies, the way they have designed this whole, I'm sure other industries must be having, but the way they have joined that Swindon and the Bangalore, it's a very innovative idea. It's very innovative, means like you feel that yes, a lot of thinking has gone into it to making it very effective and fast in terms of processing the whole thing. So there is a process innovation, there is a diversification. In fact, Dr. Lahiri, which she talked about, I see a lot of potential if designers, you tell them that this is the material, what all application which we can do. And from defense, I always feel that there are so many other areas where we can embark for the benefit for the society in scientific application or other application. We want actually this design for transformation topic which we put. We thought that we should talk transdisciplinary or multidisciplinary approach, that let designers should come and talk to you that what we can do, how we can really take it forward, how systems thinking can come in. And I'm sure that there is a lot of people who would be able to give some kind of spark, which you would be able to take and go forward. Many times people ask when I was the students say, what kind of things you design? He said, so we design from screwdriver to aircraft cockpit. And they say, how on earth anybody can design from screwdriver to the cockpit of fighting aircraft? They said that the screwdriver is used by the human being and the cockpit also has been used by the human being. And we are really looking into the aspect of that whoever is riding flying the aircraft, how cognitive load which we can reduce or how screwdriver which we have. So I think the science which we have, the design, industrial design or the human-centered design which we are talking about, we feel that it need to be linked with space and aerospace very strongly to have a greater competence level. Obviously, competence is there. It's only trying to bring two different disciplines coming together and talk more on a systems level rather than just a product level. So I thought it's the knowledge which you have shared. A lot of designers who are listening would be able to connect with you, and I would also like you to also connect with these designers who are coming out from industrial design, whether it's from NID or other design institution or IITs, industrial design, product design, communication design, UI, UX design, what value they can bring in your area of work. I think that is what we need to do at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Vyas, for sharing your inputs. And with this, we would like to end the session and would look forward to the next session at 12:30. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, all panelists.
Thank you.
Very enriching experience.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Hello, Professor Vyas.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
Good afternoon, sir. I was in the session, but didn't want to interrupt in between types. So, but it was interesting.
No, I think this sort of work is happening, but they are. We have to really get into broadening this little bit horizon, that how designer can get into the high technology area.
True, sir. True. But with the Secretary acknowledging the need of new design policy, and that too in coming months itself, which has been extensively covered in press, by the way, today. So it is encouraging and reflects a lot of work that has been going in background.
Actually, are we on the line? Are people are listening to us?
I think we are live. Yeah,
yes.
We'll discuss it later.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think design policy is certainly going to be major thing actually for us. Yeah. And we really want to get into this high technology space actually.
Right, sir.
So now we are meeting at what time?
So we are actually having the award session to start right away.
4:30 for me. 4:30 for me.
12:30.
In next 10 minutes.
No, 1 minute. 12:30 meaning what?
6 minutes from now, sir.
12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3 o'clock, na?
6 minutes from now.
Achha, it is starting now. 3 o'clock.
Yes. Chairman is also joining in 5 minutes, he said. We'll check with Mr. David.
So
we'll stay on mute then and. Hello, Dyant. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Afternoon.
Hello.
How are you doing, Toby?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for your leadership. The press media is totally, giving full coverage to our design summit this time, thanks to your leadership and Professor Vyas' guidance. So you would have
thanks
seen
to good CII work, yeah.
You would have seen it covered in Economic Times and other couple of mainstream media today.
Okay. Can you send us links of those also?
Yes,
I'll
just forward it.
We aren't tweeting properly because I haven't seen any tweets. We can all amplify it. Yeah.
Sure.
With
I'll
the
just
CII design.
forward.
Yeah.
I'll forward it to you.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you. Thank you.
So
we'll
we just
start.
finished.
Professor Vyas, you are saying something?
No, I was just telling Toby that we just finished aerospace session, defense and
Okay.
aerospace.
Okay.
One of your favorite areas, Chairman.
Yeah.
So I'm attending it from Taiwan, Toby.
Okay. I'm at Dynamatic Aerotropolis at the airport. Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually out in the back in the construction site with the new buildings.
I can see very nice backdrop. Yeah.
Yeah. That's our old existing flap track beam.
Okay.
So I see that this will have a small address by me after Pradyumna welcomes us, and then David Kusuma, and then the felicitation.
And then the facilitation
of design.
What about Bhaskar Bhatt? Is he there or not? Is he going to join?
Namita?
No, sir, he won't be able to join. He's traveling actually. So he said that.
All right. Okay.
Okay, just a quick question, because I had originally was not scheduled to be on this, and yesterday Namita, requested me. So I have a lot of people who had come here to meet me, and we are fixing. So what is the schedule? How can I minimize my time?
Yeah, can you do one thing? Otherwise, you can come first, and then we'll take care of. You're on mute.
You're on mute, Toby. Sorry.
Just that I'm not there for the full 1.5 hours. If I can leave shortly after my, maybe after David speaks.
Yeah, whenever you can, you just.
Will that be okay?
Sure.
Chairman, yeah. You understand the time pressure, and you have given us your.
No, I don't have time. This thing is just that because of the construction, our architect is Italian, Andrea, he's here. So all our people are here, and we have very tight schedule to finish the buildings.
Yeah. By all means, Chairman, once David, and the way you want, after David speaks, then you will like to just.
And unfortunately, since there's a lot of design and aesthetic involved and technology in the building, I don't want to miss it. And then tomorrow they do something and they say you were there and you didn't. That's a challenge.
Sure. Hi, David. How are you? Thank you once again for coming, joining in middle of the night.
It's a pleasure. Good to see you, Pradyumna. And hello, everyone.
Hi, David.
Hello. I would also like to introduce you to Renuka, who is going to be the MC of our session. You must be knowing
Hi. Good morning. I met some of you yesterday. So
yesterday.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So, Namita, prompt us when to start. Yeah, and with permission of Chairman, then we can go.
I think we can start. Everyone
Chairman,
has
shall
joined.
we, with your permission?
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Renuka, over to you, please.
Yes, please. Just a moment. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very, very warm welcome to each one of you to the 22nd India Design Summit, Design for Transformation Design Award ceremony this afternoon. We welcome you all to this felicitation ceremony of the CII Design Awards 2022. I'd like to begin by inviting Professor Pradyumna Vyas, Senior Advisor, CII, to give his welcome remarks, please.
Thank you, Renukaji. First of all, warm welcome to this prestigious ceremony of CII Design Excellence Award. Our chairman, Mr. Udyant Malhotra, CII National Committee. David Kusuma, he's president of WDO, and I must thank you. And yesterday also I thanked him because he's joining this meeting from US. So the very odd time for him, but he's very passionate. He was the vice chairman of the jury of CII Design Excellence Award, and very extensively participated in all this judging of the grand jury. So thank you, David, for your presence in all these CII initiatives. This, as you see, that it is really becoming a high on national agenda to take forward the design excellence, design excellence in the country. Dr. Ashish Mohan is there, who is navigating from CII side, design and innovation, and he's leading these initiatives. So I think what we initiated from 2011 is that how industry get motivated to look for their design ability or excellence in their products. And it is heartening to see that many of these very high-end engineering product, whether they are the boilers or whether they are coming from different sectors, we may not have thought about putting it in design competition, but they started putting up and then trying to get feedback from the designers and also trying to improvise. So I think this has certainly made a lot of difference in Indian industry to have greater competence level in also for the country and for the global market. Then we also started this Young Designers Award. At the moment, I am in Taiwan to attend this Taiwan International Student Design Award. And I must say that there is a lot we have learned it, and that's why we also started this Young Designers Award. 20,000 people from all over, students from all over the world participate in this. And when you ask them that what is the whole philosophy of this, they said that this we are bringing the design culture in the young mind, and this is the soft power country can have. So design competence certainly is a soft power, and India is in a juncture where I think we have proved ourselves in manufacturing, we have proved ourselves in services and IT, and I think once we bring in the design excellence, value addition happens tremendous, whether it's a product, service, or systems. So these are some of the initiatives which we have taken, that the Design Excellence Award, Young Designers Award, and also Hackathon. We started doing Hackathon where with the DQ Lab, and large number of students are participating in 2 days Hackathon, where it is almost going on 24 hours. And mentors are there from design schools, so just trying and giving them that how their innovative ideas they can make to the prototype. So general awareness of those level. I know that we are growing fast, but we need to really grow multifold. We need to bring in this design sensitization in industry through this Design Excellence Award. We also have intention to take it to globally. Student award, certainly we want to take it globally in future, to see that our students also know that how some of the students from other countries, how they are taking the reacting on certain problem areas. We are also trying to focus the theme of these awards, especially in Young Designer Award, more towards sustainable development goals, to make them understand more responsible way of creating the design. So with this, I again welcome you all, and I would like to congratulate all the people who are going to win today awards and the young designers who are going to win. But those who are not making this time, there is always a next time. And if you have not made for the award, surely there is a lot to learn, that where we were lacking and how we can improve ourselves, and we can again apply for that. So take it in that spirit. And finally, we have to make a better product, service, and systems. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Vyas. I now invite Mr. Udayant Malhotra, Chairman, CII National Committee on Design and CEO and Managing Director, Dynamatic Technologies Limited, for his address.
Salutations. Good design helps elevate the quality of life, creativity, and ensures healthy revenue for our businesses. Excellence in design is no longer just a desirable factor, but it's essential. India, we have a very long history of design appreciation with art, design, and crafts, and a certain aesthetic that is part of our culture and our lives. At this juncture, it is imperative to create a sensitivity and help people appreciate design beyond just the aesthetics. In fact, design is a tool to create a sustainable future for our citizens and our country. The CII Design Excellence Awards are one such mechanism to communicate the purpose of design behind just aesthetics. It's so heartening to see so many applications coming in from in-house design teams in industries. This shows that our industry are focusing on design interventions. I'd like to thank the grand jury chairman, Mr. Bhaskar Bhatt. He's the former managing director of Titan, on Tata Sons, Trent, and chairman of the board of Rallis India and Tata Vistara for his leadership. Mr. David Kusuma, co-chairman and president of WDO, we thank you for your leadership and support for the initiative. And we thank all the Indian and international jury panel who truly raised the bar on the design awards this year. My heartiest congratulations to all the winners who are soon going to be conferred these prestigious awards on the eminent CII platform. You truly make us proud. We're also conferring Young Designer Awards and the winners of the Design Hackathon, who are our future design and innovation champions. I congratulate all the winners of the Young Designer Awards and the Design Hackathon today. With this, I once again congratulate all the applicants, winners, participants, partners for taking part in our design initiatives. These include our students, young designers, corporates, and all our design experts. Your wholehearted participation shall help us build design as a movement across our nation and across the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Malhotra. I now invite Mr. David Kusuma, President, World Design Organization, to address us, please.
Thank you very much, Renuka, and greetings to everyone here at CII and at the celebration. It's been a real pleasure to be part of this jury for the CII Design Excellence Awards, and as president of the World Design Organization, and really on behalf of WDO, I'm very proud to celebrate with you today the Design Excellence Award ceremony. For those of you who are not aware, WDO, the World Design Organization, is a global body for industrial design with a very proud history that dates all the way back to 1957. In fact, this year holds special significance because 2022 is also the 65th anniversary since the founding of the WDO, which was previously known as ICSID, the International Council of Societies of Industrial Design. And this organization has long committed to promoting and advancing the discipline of industrial design to enhance all of our economic, social, cultural, and environmental quality of life. For us at WDO, we have been promoting design for a better world, using the UN SDGs, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, as a guideline to partner and to work towards solving some of humanity's biggest challenges. So this means using the power of design as a fundamental tool to make communities, and human settlements more inclusive, more safe, more resilient, and of course, more sustainable. The World Design Organization is so proud to have CII as a member and as a partner in helping to design for a better world. India is building a world-class design community, and the CII Design Excellence Award has become a significant prize which highlights top-level innovation for India and also showcasing for leading edge and innovative design to the rest of the world. India is home to 1.2 billion people and is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The country has already emerged as an innovation hub with one of the world's largest startup communities, and in 2021 showed more than 40 Indian startups joining the Unicorn Club. So technology and innovations in India have been a huge force for economic growth and social development. And for sure, it will be a force that is going to impact the entire world. Design, of course, is a huge part of that emergence. So it goes without saying that now more than ever, designers need to prioritize accessibility, affordability, reliability, sustainability, and respect for the user and the environment. Design for a better world is the very ethos of the upcoming generation of designers who are placing human needs first and striking the right balance between people, planet, and profit. I'm so pleased to be here to represent the World Design Organization together with Professor Pradimnya Vyas and to help celebrate the CII Design Excellence Awards. I want to congratulate all of the award winners because you represent the very best in design, and it's really incredible to see all of your achievements and all of your efforts coming together to help make the world a better place. I want to wish everyone a wonderful celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kusuma. Ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed to the award ceremony. We will have 3 awards conferred today. First is the Design Excellence Awards, Young Designer Awards, and the Design Hackathon. As its ongoing pursuit to establish design as a tool for national competitiveness, CII initiated the CII Design Excellence Awards from the year 2012. The awards are an acknowledgement and celebration of Indian design and showcases the emerging face of design in India and its newer manifestations. The awards are a true acknowledgement of the prowess of Indian design, innovation, and originality. We have introduced a robust technical evaluation process by expert panel, followed by grand jury evaluation consisting of national and international design experts. We thank our 14 expert panel members from wide-ranging disciplines from within India and abroad under the chairmanship of Mr. Bhaskar Bhatt, Director Tata Sons, Titan and Trent, Chairman of the Board of Rallis India, and Tata Sia Vistara, former Managing Director, Titan Company, with Mr. David Kusuma, President, World Design Organization, as the co-chairman. On behalf of CII, ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to thank the expert panel members for their support and participation. In total, there are 19 awards comprising of 6 category winners and 13 subcategory winners. So without much ado, may I start calling upon the winners. The award for virtual category winner in spatial design goes to Design Factory India for designing Veer Balak Smarak Memorial and Museum. Many congratulations to the Design Factory. The overall category winner for design for social impact goes to Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited for designing waste plastic module, a game changer product. Cheers, BPCL. We now move to the subcategory awards. Under the application and software design, the award goes to Studio Carbon for designing the NextStem Wisdom Web application. Under the identity and brand design, the winner is therefore Design Private Limited for designing I Love Fish Ray, a one-of-a-kind seafood cloud kitchen. Under packaging design, the winner is Uriel Design for True Basics, AM to PM packaging design. Under the mobility design category, the winner for special purpose vehicle design is TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, for Palpicker, a fork over autonomous mobile robot by TCS. Under two-wheeler motorized vehicle design, the winner again is Studio Carbon for electric bicycle design for Epic. Under non-motorized vehicle design, the winner is TI Cycles of India for LB Zelda. Under automobile accessory design, the winner is Rotex Automation Limited for Rotex Tire Inflation Systems, RTIS. For subcategory winner under service design, commercial service design, the winner is Godrej and Boyce Manufacturing Company Limited for Godrej Life Cycle Service. Under spatial design category, the subcategory winner is Turner and Townsend for designing Barclays Pune campus. Under the product design subcategory for capital goods design, the winner is Forbes Marshall Private Limited for Smart Pause Positive or Smart Pause Plus. For machine tools, equipment and gauges, the winner is Nimble Machines, division of UCAM Private Limited for designing Tarang 325. For healthcare and medical equipment design, the winner is Godrej Interior for designing a Gilor crash cart. For consumer appliance design, the winner is Havels India Limited for designing Lloyd Elante semi-automatic washing machine. For household product design, the winner again is Havels India Limited for designing Havels Zella immersion water heater. For furniture design, we have the winner again, Godrej Interior for designing power drive. For lighting design, the winner is Wipro Enterprises for designing Focus Plus. For lifestyle product design, the subcategory award goes to Titan Company Limited for designing Titan Solar Watch Collection. A very, very, very big round of applause and congratulations to all the winners. Thank you. It was a pretty hard contest, many entries and many good ones. CII thanks all the applicants for participating in these awards. Many, many congratulations. We now move on to the next award, which is the Young Designer Awards. CII, in collaboration with World Design Organization, had launched Young Designers Award, YDA, in 2021 for the young professionals who will be the future champions. The YDA Awards is merely not an award. It is an indicator of quality and perfection in design. The award draws keen attention of design-oriented companies, professionals, and interest groups. We had an eminent group of nearly 17 jury members for assessment of CII Young Designer Awards 2022 from industry and institutions. On behalf of CII, I once again take this opportunity to thank the jury members for their support and participation. We received more than 600 entries across 6 categories, namely communication design, product design, mobility design, service design, spatial design, and design for social impact. I now announce the winners. In the communication design category, the winner is Ms. Neha Periwal for designing Avi's Adventure, illustrated children's picture book. In the product design category, the winner is Mr. Kashish Parmar for designing Chew and Chom, interactive toy. For service design category, the winner is Mr. Kaushik Datta for designing Rentico, a C2B2C circular used item renting service. For mobility design category, the winner is Mr. Akash Mangla for designing Nico. We now come to the top application winners. For communication design category, the winner is Ms. Vanchika Mehra for designing Ugau.com ad campaign. In the product design category, we have two winners. Mr. Dhruv Monang Patel for designing EaseHeart and Miss Sakshi Shirsekar for designing Pauli, a little paw which is family. In the service design category, we again have two winners. Ms. Sparsh Gorantia for designing TravelMate and Mr. Shabnam Das for designing Snap and Snooze. For mobility design category, the winner is Mr. Inder for designing Blind Spot. Congratulations to all the winners of the CII Young Designer Awards 2022. My heartiest congratulations to each one of you. We now move to the third category of awards, which is the CII DQ Labs Design Hackathon. I now invite Mr. Dion Disa from DQ Labs to announce the results for Design Hackathon.
Thank you, Renuka, madam, for that. And we finally come to the culmination of the Design Hackathon 2022 award ceremony. We are very happy to be involved with sensitizing students to design thinking across India. There have been 1,800 participants from grade 8 to 12, representing 569 teams, 300 schools across India, and 149 teams as finalists. To make this event happen, we've had 300 design and faculty members and mentors being part of this event. We've had 50 volunteers as a support team to get this happening. And we really couldn't do this without our partners. There have been the top design schools from across India that have been supporting us with this. And with this, getting into the award ceremony for architecture, there were a total of 46 teams that participated, with 9 teams shortlisted for the finals. And the junior category winning team is team number 1209 from National Public School, mentored by Wadia Center for Architecture in Mysore. For the senior category in architecture, the winning team is 1124, Neve Academy, Bangalore, and mentored by Wadia Center for Architecture, Mysore. In the interior and furniture category, there were a total of 51 teams that participated and 21 teams were shortlisted for the finals. The junior category winner, team number 7201 from National Public School, and they were mentored by multiple design schools. In the senior category, the winning team 7106, representing Rukmini Devi Public School, Delhi, and they were mentored by multiple design schools. In the fashion category, we've had a total of 154 teams that participated, and 26 teams reached the finals. The junior category winners, team number 3209 from Shishugriha High School. They shared this winning with another team, 3218 from Dean's Academy, Bangalore. In the senior category, team number 31361 with Delhi Public School, they were mentored by multiple design schools. In film and animation, There were a total of 46 teams that participated, with 12 teams shortlisted for the finals. Team number 4103 won in the senior category. They were from Dean's Academy, and they were mentored by WCFA Mysore. In the junior category, team number 4208, the winners were from Delhi Public School East, mentored by UID. In games, there were a total of 75 teams that participated, with 8 who reached the final. The junior category winners, team number 5201 from Vidyaniketan Public School, mentored by UID, and the senior category team 5110 from Vidyaniketan Public School, mentored by UID. In UI/UX, there were 40 teams that participated, with 19 shortlisted for the finals. The winning team was 11218 from New Horizon Public School and mentored by multiple schools. The senior category was team 11107. Students represented multiple schools, and they were mentored by NID Haryana. And in the senior category, again, shared with team number 11110, again, students from multiple schools, mentored by UID. For graphic design, 55 teams participated, with 13 teams shortlisted for the final. Team number 6213 won in the junior category. They represented multiple schools, mentored by FDDI. And in the senior category, team number 6117 from Presidency School won, and they were mentored by multiple design schools. In product category, 58 teams participated, with 20 schools being 20 teams finalized. From that junior category, 8221 from BME School won. They were mentored by FDDI. And in the senior category, team number 8108 from Diksha CFL PU College were mentored by FDDI. In transportation design, 15 teams participated in total, with 2 teams shortlisted for the finals. The junior category winners, team number 10202 from Vidyaniketan Public School, mentored by FDDI. For creative engineering, 43 teams participated, with 11 teams shortlisted for the finals. The winning team 2217 from Kamal Academy, Bangalore, mentored by multiple schools. And for the senior category, the winning team 2110 from Greenwood High International School, mentored by WCFA. And the final category, final group, reimagining design, 30 teams participated, with 7 teams shortlisted for the finals. Winning team, junior category 9207 from National Public School, mentored by multiple design schools. And in the senior category, team number 9101 won from the Vellamil International School, Chennai. Extra Mile Awards were voted by the participants for the design mentors that helped them the most. These were the mentors from various design schools. And we can't leave out the design faculty as well, who have been very on board with helping the students during the hackathon. And these were the winning faculty. There was one school, design school, that mentored the most number of winning teams, and that is UID, Amitabh and NCR campus. They mentored 9 winning teams. And the grand prize winner of cash prize of 50,000 went to team number 11107, Itril Jacobs, Sarah Xavier, Amay Bharadwaj, Anisa Munjal, and Yatin JM. They represented multiple schools, and they were mentored by NID Haryana. And for the school with the most number of winning teams, they win a cash prize of 25,000 plus a rolling trophy. And that is Vidyaniketan Public School, Bangalore, with 3 winning teams, and they win this award. That's about it for the design hackathon. Pleasure, and over to Umesh, who would like to probably say a few words.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dion. First of all, congratulations to all the finalists and winners. And I'm glad to share that many entries were nicely reflecting the design thinking process, which was delivered through the macro and micro education slots during the CII DQ Labs Design Hackathon event. It shows that the participants were quite receptive and enthusiastic in implementing design thinking. We have also noticed that some of the past winners have again won the category level prizes this year, and their work reflects great improvement in understanding of design thinking and doing. I would like to thank Professor Vyas, CII Design, and also the participating design schools who have believed in our mission to spread design thinking and doing in young minds of India. I wish all the best to all the participants, the finalists, winners, and recommend them to apply their learnings to solve the problems they encounter in their professional and personal lives for creating a better world. Okay, so over to you, Dion.
Yes, Shanti Menon, Madam, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. Good morning and greetings from the Dean's Academy. As I've always said, it's been an honor to co-host the Design Hackathon in partnership with CII and DQ Labs. It was a pleasure working alongside the backend logistics where the students from Dean supported the DQ Labs, was supported by DQ Labs to kickstart the whole event and were in the war room with the DQ Labs staff, and that was a phenomenal experience. There has been a good number of participants and, of course, huge amount of learning, and it's great to know the results. I had the opportunity of seeing some of the shortlisted entries, and I should say there's been so much creativity, so much of thought, empathy, etc., which went into all of those few projects that I got an opportunity to take a look at. As Mr. Umesh said, that we hope we will have continued enrollment for the next year. There's huge learning here, students. So do come in and be part of it. And of course, take back the learning into what you do every day. Back to you, Mr. Dion.
Right. Over to Renuka, Madam. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mr. Dion. I'd like to request Ashish Mohan to wrap up this session and give his closing remarks.
Thank you, Renuka, and thank you, everyone. First of all, heartiest congratulations to all the winners of these awards. And it's immensely a great pleasure to work with our partners, DQ Labs, Dean's Academy, in these awards, and in a way recognizing the passion and the work which these design community has been doing and contributing towards the humanity. So congratulations to all of you. To the winners and to all those participants and applicants, I would just like to repeat what Professor Vyas said. There's always, scope for us to further improve our work. So there's always, the best becomes further best and the better becomes best. This is also always a cycle of continuity and progress. My congratulations to all the winners. And with this, we will now come to a closure of our 12th Design Innovation Awards and the 22nd CII India Design Summit. Now, the 22nd CII India Design Summit was a success. This we all know, but it also gives us a lot of, responsibility to take forward the great initiatives that have been decided in last 2 years. A huge work, a huge responsibility to create design policy, to develop on with some work, some thought process on the design policy for India in coming years is one of the most important and very exciting opportunity that we all have now. So, and with help of our guiding members, our advisors, our patrons, we will be working towards development of this framework for the design policy for India. I'd like to thank our chairman, Mr. Udyan Malhotra, for his continued leadership. I would like to thank Professor Pradyumna Vyas for his absolutely wonderful guidance and support. I'd like to thank our institutional partners, WDO, the most important one, and the other country partners, equally important. I'd also like to thank various ministerial officers who help us, and they are the strength of, and they bring so much confidence in the work that we do. I would like to thank all the participants. For last 2 days, it was such an enthralling experience. More than 1,000 participants attended the summit, and we have our inboxes full with various feedbacks, comments, and what are the further directions that audience are looking forward. So we'll connect back those queries with our set of experts. It was enthralling. The kind of discussions that we had covered various sectors, like from a space sector to one district, one product, and design of the whole lot of important content. This shows the importance that the design sector has in making India really a knowledge economy and further ensuring the consistent increase of India on the innovation rank and on various indices, I must say. On that promising note, I would like to once again congratulate all of the stakeholders in this journey of excellence through design and innovation. Thank you, everyone. I would also like to touch base and thank the CII Secretariat team, the CII design team, which made it happen. I would like to thank Namita, Nitish, Tiksha, and Divya, who worked under guidance of Professor Pradyumna Vyas and made it happen. And thank you, Renuka, for anchoring it so well. Back to you, please. Thank you.
Most welcome. So it seems like the spirits are high and everybody's been a winner in this game. So congratulations to the teams for participating, for those who have won, and for all the guidance that the senior dignitaries who have joined us have given them. With that, we come to the close of the CII 22nd India Design Summit, Design for Transformation. We look forward to the next one next year. Have a good day and thank you very much.
Thank you, Ronika.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek, and thank you, David. Thank you very much for your presence.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dion.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, अभी भी online है कट करा?
Online है sir अभी.
Thank you so much.
Online.
चलो, thank you all.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. We'll connect.
Congratulations to all. Good.
Thank you. Bye.